sponsored the House bill. The new law prohibits law enforcement agencies from accessing electronic information or data transmitted to a remote computing service without a warrant based on probable cause in most situations. In effect, it will prohibit police from warrantlessly accessing information uploaded into the cloud. The House passed the bill by a 71-0 vote. The Senate approved the measure 23-0. With Herbert's signature, the new law will go into effect May 14th. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting with the latest edition of the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
Clark County paramedics responded to a frantic 911 call from a nearby motel this morning, where the Lord our God, divine creator and ruler of the universe, had been found nude and unconscious following his latest suicide attempt. God, whose sources say had recently grown far more depressed and withdrawn from humanity than usual, reportedly attempted to hang himself from the base of his motel showerhead after ingesting an unknown quantity of Ambien. Motel sources claim that God's room had been left in a state of disarray, and revealed that they had found a brief note written by the omnipotent deity, saying that the suicide stems from long periods of unhappiness he had been suffering in recent millennia, including the death of his only child, thousands of years of war and genocide, chronic weight gain, and the aftermath of his messy 15,088 BC divorce. Paramedics say the Supreme Being had no pulse when they arrived. The Lord's overdose comes in the wake of several widely publicized previous suicide attempts, including a 1985 incident when the Lord leapt from the Grand Canyon but changed into a bird at the last second and flew to safety.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Free Talk Live. You're welcome to call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
Angie here.
And Jay.
The number's 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. And, well, not only are you welcome to call in and talk on Free Talk Live anytime that's between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, any day of the year, including Christmas. It doesn't matter. Whatever the day is, we'll be here from between 7 and 10. But we bring in some show prep, too. I got an article here from one of my favorites, the Foundation for Economic Education, because, well, frankly, I think we all need a little education in economics. 5 lucrative jobs that don't require a college degree. So when you think about a college degree at this point, I mean, the cost is going up, right?
Absolutely.
At some point or another, you reach the threshold for making enough money to pay for this thing to make it make sense. There are a lot of people out there right now who are saddled with debt from their college degree. In some cases, it's never going to get paid off. And I mean, you know, it's keeping them from moving forward. It's keeping them from getting the jobs that they want to get, keeping them, you can't get rid of it in bankruptcy. I mean, the only way you can get rid of your college debt is dying. And
a lot of these people that have these masters or whatever in these, you know, whatever crazy things, the only marketplace for them is what I call the parasite class, is to go work in some, you know, public education, to go be a teacher somewhere, and even and that's just like my niece, for example. We took her out to dinner the other night, and she's talking about, you know, college and doing this, and I'm like, what's the end game? You know, what are you going to do? Right. And
like, that's not the end game anymore. Like, college isn't the goal any longer. It's whatever is after college. And if college gets you to that thing that's afterwards, then that's great.
But it's like, and her whole line of work is literally, she's like, pretty much all, there's no private sector options that are pay any kind of money. And then when you go to work for the public sector, certain types of public sector, like school teachers and stuff, that you get these like the special like deferments on your college loan. not my niece, but actually a cousin of mine who's same age, about 24. She went to school for art and a few other things, and I'm like, where can you really apply that in
College
life?
for art.
And she's like, well, I was working at art studios, art galleries, and, I make a commission on when something sells. And
But you don't need a degree when to do
art.
that.
Right. And so I'm like, oh, you make any money there? And she's like, no. She's like, so I'm an art teacher. And she goes, but the great thing about being an art teacher is that it was some kind of contract that she did with the school, and they're basically gonna take care of her student loans.
Yep, they'll pay your
as
loans.
part of the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like the only way that there's this whole class of educated working folks out there that are young, and the only opportunity they really have is to go to work in the government sector. And then of course, that's just more and more people working in the government sector. So us people who work in the private sector literally can't retire because we're forced to pay for the retirement of the public sector.
Right, and wages continue to go down in the private sector, as compared to the government sector. As we, it makes it more and more difficult. You're right. I often list people that should get a degree are engineers, doctors, lawyers, and that's about it. But in many cases, people who go to work for the government also need a degree, and.
So the degree scale that was explained to me, and I'm going to say this a little wrong. My cousin, and this was while she was at my wedding last summer, she was telling me about this. She lives in Mississippi. Was like, so the first degree you get is, I don't know, it's like a bachelor's or something.
The first one's an associate's, and then a bachelor's.
And then a bachelor's, and then
a master's, and then a PhD.
I think she's got a bachelor's now.
Okay.
And so that bachelor's is worth X amount of dollars as an art teacher in a school.
All right, that makes sense. Yeah.
And then her goal is, and her mother's really pushing her to do this. Her goal is to get her master's because she'll just by having the master's, she's not taking on any more work.
Yep.
She just paid a whole lot more money.
Yep.
And and her, my aunt, who's a wonderful lady, I love her dearly. She's been a professional in the public school system her whole life.
Yeah.
And she's actually a psychiatrist, and she makes a really nice retirement. And basically, my cousin is like, it's like, yeah, you got to get that master's as quick as you can because you really need to crank up that retirement. By the time you're ready to retire, you can, bring home, $70,000-$80,000, a year.
Per year. Move down to Florida,
right.
And you're in great shape at 65 or whatever.
Now, what kind of contract did she have to sign in order to have them pay for her student loans?
She basically she didn't say contract. She said agreement.
Okay. To work there so long, so many years. And
basically, as she works there, so it's two things. Because as she's working in a public school, there's a deferment, and there's some kind of school loan assistance or
forgiveness.
She didn't say that. I don't really exactly remember, but I also did talk to another cousin of mine who is doing a similar thing through the Navy, and I think the Navy is they're actually going to after the time is served in the Navy, the school loan is is paid off.
It's satisfied.
Yeah, she basically they're like, oh, I don't have to pay these student loans, but my cousin who's got these student loans is like, she would have to work. She would have nothing left over, literally working at a $15 an hour job, at $40 an hour, and then feeding herself, and then paying a couple $100 a month for rent or whatever, and some of her other bills. I mean, it's just she's got nothing left over. And the student loans, I don't know what they are. They're several $100s a month or whatever. But
presumably, these student loans are basically anything that would be savings. The idea is that you pay off the student loans and then you begin putting the same amount towards savings in the future. So I don't know what. Obviously, I can't say what any individual may have in student loans. Some have more than others. Presumably, they believe they could get paid more than others. But one of the biggest problems is you got this 18-year-old comes out of high school. You don't believe they're old enough to drink. Frankly, they're not old enough to make you don't believe they're old enough to make a lot of sexual decisions, but you believe they're old enough to sign up for a contract that's going to hang over their head for 20 plus, potentially plus years. I mean, my wife's student loans just got paid off. She was done with college before I met her. We've been together since 2003.
I know a guy who is 61 years old, and they're still coming after him for his student loans. Like 4 years ago, we were doing some legal stuff on like how to kind of like fight off and beat these student loans somehow, and I referred him to some folks. He never really followed up, but at that point 4 years ago, what he had already made for payments was like 30% more than the actual original loans, and what he owes now is something like, and he finished college in the 70s, and what he owes now is something like 3 to 4 times as much as the original loan.
With penalties and interest.
Oh yeah, because the interest is all crazy and the penalties, and it's such a racket.
It is. It's a real mess, and this is a lost generation. Essentially, is what's happening here, and all you can do. You cannot save the world, ladies and gentlemen, but you can save your kids.
Yeah, teach them some skills, or let them go learn some real world skills.
Right. I mean, I frankly, there's very few people that I think are well served going from high school directly into college. Admittedly, if you go to college, you start getting certain degrees. You get a STEM degree. That's science, technology, mathematics, and something to do with E. I don't know. I don't have to know them. I don't have a degree in one of those things. But I also, I never got a degree. I did a little bit of time at the community college, and that was about it. And everything's been fine up to this point.
In a little town I grew up in, Palmer, Massachusetts, there was a vocational school called Pathfinder Vocational School. So a bunch of my buddies went to Pathfinder, and pretty much all those kids that went to Pathfinder and took tech stuff, they're in trades, they're making very good money, and they have virtually zero debt. Well, they have no college debt because they didn't go to college. Right, they went right to work.
That 4 years can be used at the company you want to work at. 855-450-3733. Tell me why college makes sense. 855-450-FREE as in freedom. Free Talk Live.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISS Paris.com.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippies! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, the road to freedom. a film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
Now you can follow LRN.FM on the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You can call in, bring up what's ever on your mind. The number 855-450-3733. That's 855-450-FREE. It's Mark with you.
Angie here.
And Jay.
We're talking about this article from FEE about 5 jobs that don't require, lucrative jobs that don't require a college degree. But basically what we established in the first segment was college is more or less a scam. And it's going to put you deeply in debt and probably not provide you with much. Unless, you know, like I like to say, engineers, lawyers, doctors, there's a few degrees that make some sense. Whatever yours is likely, statistically, very likely, not one of them. I know an MBA who works on cars for a living and has a second job installing appliances.
A lot of my buddies, I graduated high school in ’98, so that and the huge push was back then was the guidance counselors. Listen to the guidance counselors. These guys are gonna, you just listen to a guidance counselor, your life is gonna be sweet. And let's and they had these people, these guidance counselors would recommend you get to like these firms that would help you write grant applications or college assistance or like grant money. Like a bunch of my buddies got like a few $1,000 here and there for like whatever, football, this, that, and the other thing, chess team or something. But and then 2003, 2004, my buddies, got 4, 5, 6 years in college, and they're like, "Hey, dude, can I go throw some hay with you?" And I'm like, "Well, what about that fancy college education you got? How come you're not making like $100,000 a year?" He's like, "Oh, man, there's really no jobs. I went to school, Mr. Thompson was actually the guidance counselor, and he's like, my friend Brian, he went to school for basically like computer generated, cartooning. I forget what the heck it was called, but he showed me a little thing he made. And
well, I'm sure that's lucrative and that you can. That thing sounds like you might be able to use that back then at some point.
Well, no, because guys in India do it for nothing.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and in third world countries or developing countries, these guys get have whatever. It's cheaper to get that education, or they got it, or something. So he just couldn't get a job.
That's rough. Let's go to the phones. You got Tom calling in from New Hampshire. Tom, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
How do you spell sicko?
Sicko?
How do you spell sicko?
Okay. SICKO.
There's another way to spell sicko?
I bet there's a joke coming. Go ahead.
LGBTQ.
Oh, boy. So. Oh, okay. That's it. That's what we got here. Whatever. There's a joke.
Interesting.
I don't particularly care what people do in their bedrooms. If you've got the time to be concerned with that, then I suppose you can pass judgment if you want. It's not my interest. Just don't care. So let's go on with this article here from FEE. They want to give us some highly paid, high demand careers that are sneered at because they don't require a college degree. And when I was in school, I don't know if this was said, but this was the impression that I got. Was basically there were there were 3 career paths that you could have out of school. You could go through like the shop classes and that sort of thing. And we had a handful of them still in I graduated in 1989. Or you could take the sort of the shop class career path, and then go on to vocational technical institute, and then probably get a job in the trades, as it were. And that was for people that were understood to be below average intelligence.
Right.
Sorry, that's how it was presented to me. Then for people above average intelligence, we were supposed to go to college. Whatever it was. It didn't matter what kind of useless degree you got, underwater basket weaving or, the art degree or whatever that your degree was. You just had to go to college and get a degree.
Yeah, as long as you got a degree and, you get a job at some school somewhere.
And
government job.
At that time, yes, you could get a degree with a relatively low cost. It wasn't going to be that big of a deal. Unless you went for a doctor and you're going to spend more. But still, the costs for going to college from 1989 to 1993 were going to be relatively inexpensive. I guess graduating year 1990 to 1994, actually. So, that was the career path I was on. And the bias was that you're the above average intelligence. And then there was this other career path of losers, right? They were just going to graduate high school and go off to work. And I don't think it's anything like that anymore. I think that, frankly, I would be looking for the person who takes their GED at 16 and then goes and starts working at a real job. When you're at 16 and you're going out and you're getting a real job and you're starting to look at the future, then maybe you can begin to discern what it is that you really want to do. Asking a kid who's 17 years old, because that's when you're supposed to start applying to colleges, and supposed to know what it is that you want to do, I guess, because you'd want to apply to the college that has the best degree program in the area that you want to go, right?
And most of these 17-year-olds haven't done anything productive. They've played sports ball.
Right.
Well, that's what a 17-year-old wants to do. I'm going to be a basketball player or baseball player or whatever.
Yeah. If basketball can get you into a university where you can get a degree at a low cost, then by all means, play some basketball. It'll burn some calories. Sounds like a good thing to do. I was at work from I started working at 12 years old, but I still didn't know what I wanted to do. I just wanted to follow orders. I wanted to be an employee. I wouldn't have stated that to you, but I didn't have any goals surrounding a career. I wasn't prepared to start talking about a career. I wasn't prepared for years after that. So asking me for that is unfair. And this career path where we say to kids, you got to get your SAT, you got to get your ACT, you got to go from 12th grade to 13th and 14th and 15th and 16th grade and go on. That doesn't make much sense. So I think that it makes more sense to go out and get a job, and then if you need to get something, then go get a degree after that. First one, truck drivers.
High demand right now.
It is in high demand because I think that people have seen the handwriting on the wall, right? As far as truck drivers go, that at some point or another, some kind of self-driving vehicle is going to come along and replace truck drivers. So a lot of people have gotten out of the field, but that doesn't change the fact that today things need to move from one location to another. And there's some big companies that are in the space, so it can be a little more difficult for the what do they call the single driver, basically the guy who owns his own truck, to make a living than it used to be.
It's tremendously. I was one of those guys. I essentially owned several trucks, buying and I bought and sold hay. We hauled it from Canada, to southern New England. And right now, if you want to live on the road in a beautiful brand new semi truck and be a real asphalt cowboy, you can start $50,000-$60,000 a year.
But what's your payment?
No, just go work for a company.
Okay.
Just to go work for a company. You can go work for JB Hunt or Schneider or any of these.
Testament.
And if you wanna be a coast to coast driver, and there's a bunch of them that listen to this show and they'll attest to this. And the thing is
I love truckers.
Young kids do that and they get burnt out. But I know some guys that are making $100,000 a year doing it.
Yeah, if you can tolerate the time spent away from the family, time spent away from, I don't know, clubs or whatever it is that you think you think is going to fulfill your life or whatever, you can make up to $80,000 a year right off. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Free Talk Live.
Complement your health with hemp-derived cannabinoid oil. We've always believed that the closer to Earth, the better it is for our bodies. Our hemp-derived cannabinoid oil is phytocannabinoid rich, full spectrum, and organically grown. Finally, hemp made easy, clean, and effective. GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203. That's right, we cut through the red tape. It's now available at GCNhemp.com or call 877-878-4203.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
The Shire Free Church offers a sanctuary to those seeking an escape from state churches.
The Shire Free Church is an interfaith, diverse group of people that may not share identical theological beliefs. As a member in or minister of the Shire Free Church, you are a sovereign individual and may be the faith of your choice.
We don't claim to have all of the answers.
We are open to all peaceful people.
We want to learn from each other.
What unifies the Shire Free Church and its diverse members is peace,
love, and liberty. There are many paths to God, one for every individual.
The Shire Free Church does not define a specific path beyond those parameters that must be your foundation.
Peace as your way,
love as your guide,
and liberty as your light.
Learn more at church.shiresociety.com.
That's church.shiresociety.com. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
Don't you hate that feeling in the pit of your stomach when the police pull you over? Most people have no idea how to handle it properly, and they promptly get fed into the municipal fee-generating meat grinder. Or maybe you recall that feeling you get when you go to the mailbox and see one or more letters from the IRS. You get a sense of impending doom, don't you? So let me ask you, if you could learn how to use the law to beat the IRS, traffic tickets, almost any courtroom scenario, collectors, credit card debt, and even mortgage debt because of fraud perpetrated against you, would that be worth knowing about? Don't laugh. Investigate. Check out the life-changing benefits of the Lighthouse Law Club at their website, lighthouselaw.club. That's lighthouselaw.club. And while you're at it, visit the Lighthouse Law Club YouTube channel. You might be in for a pleasant surprise.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
It's Free Talk Live. You can call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
Angie here.
And Jay.
Talking about jobs that pay well that are that don't require any kind of college degree. We're just talking about truckers here. I'll get back into that for a in a second here, but I want to tell you about Freedom's Phoenix. It's a liberty-oriented news aggregation site. That means they grab news stories from all over the internet, put them in one place. If you want the newest and freshest stories on current events and science and technology and historical findings and liberty news and government overspending and the rise of the police state, it's freedomsphoenix.com. They've got it. I go there on a regular basis. I go to the site when I click through. I get their daily dispatch. If you go to freedomsphoenix.com, that's freedom with an S, phoenix.com, and sign up, you can get the daily dispatch like I do. It's great. freedomsphoenix.com. Let's go to Jeff calling in from Chattanooga. Jeff, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, bud. Yeah, you talking about the truck drivers thing. I've been driving now for 20 years.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, yeah, it's a great job, man. I love it.
Yeah, nothing exists in America that a truck driver didn't bring us. So thanks.
That's exactly right. But, I make, in some cases, for an entry-level police officer nowadays, I average around $85,000 a year, and I'm not gone that much. I'm usually gone 3 weeks and come home for a week.
Okay.
But these policemen out here that are putting their lives on the line, and they're getting shot at every day and getting killed. They're making half of what I'm making.
Well,
some towns.
I would caution you on this, Jeff. Although, what we see on television is cops getting shot at, but it's not even one of the top 10 most dangerous jobs. And frankly, it's the truck drivers whose lives are shortened who are actually doing the more dangerous job. Because in many cases, truck drivers, they're not getting a lot of exercise. They're getting obese. They're away from their wives who might be watching what they eat and stuff like that. And their lives are shortened as a result. I'd say the truckers have the more dangerous job.
Well, statistically, truckers it is a much more dangerous profession than being a police officer.
Yeah, it's dangerous out there.
I learned a lesson about that because I was one of those. I was almost 500 pounds. And I've lost 167 pounds.
That's great.
Excellent. Good job.
So,
how'd you do it, Jeff?
52 more. I want to quit eating junk.
Yeah.
Start eating
it's a simple formula.
Hey, Jeff, speaking of being a healthy trucker, a guy I used to subscribe to on YouTube called himself the Wheatgrass Trucker. Have you heard of him? Check him out. Just YouTube search the Wheatgrass Trucker. And what this dude did is he would grow sprouts in his truck, and he had a whole sprouting setup in a condo sleeper. And he went from being he lost a lot of weight. He's a very fit, healthy guy, but he was heading down that road of extremely overweight and stuff.
It's easy.
And I always recommend the Wheatgrass Trucker to truckers. He kind of inspired me to lose some weight, a few years ago also.
Because you're basically a trucker too, right, Jay?
Well, I was. I'm not anymore. I got just sick of looking through the windshield. I got burnt out.
Thanks for the call, Jeff. Go ahead.
Yeah, buddy. Thank y'all. Appreciate you.
No problem at all.
Good night.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Let's go to Samantha calling in from Rochester. Samantha, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hi, guys. Long-time listener. I'm calling because of the truck driving. I'm actually a truck driver.
Thank you for your service.
Thanks. So the biggest issue I have is with the whole driver shortage portion of it.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about this part because I feel like... What's that?
I think it's both. Sorry, caught myself.
Nope. I didn't hear anything. So what my concern is that if I tell somebody to get into trucking, how long are they going to have this job? So is it going to be 5 years? Is it going to be 10 years? I don't know the answer to that because I figure at some point or another we're going to have these self-driving trucks on the interstate. I don't know the answer to it, but maybe. And then what does one do with the skill set that one has developed over time with this, with driving trucks? I mean, what does it translate into? So go ahead, give me your thoughts.
Well, as far as the self-driving trucks, I see that in the future, but I don't see it happening tomorrow, especially with all of the government regulation and all of the rules and everything like that. I get that you can get rid of a lot of the rules because, trucks don't need to sleep. People do. But the issue I have is that, you're still going to have someone in the truck, whether the truck is self-driving or not. You're going to have someone in the truck to be sure that it's going the right direction. Because as we know, just like humans, machines can fail also. So, I mean, personally, because I'm technologically, I don't know, I'm good at technology and like that kind of thing. So I could probably maybe learn how to program them or take that kind of step, and I can keep being in the trucking industry without actually driving. But I'm also really young too compared to most truckers, so I have that on as a positive for me.
Make sure you save that money.
That's the thing, is you don't really make a lot of money. I know that's going to crush some dreams.
You're not making
really
much money trucking?
No, when I was driving truck over the road, I could make anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 a week.
Okay.
And that was being a company driver, and that was 48 states in Canada. And I'd be gone for 4 weeks and home about 6 days.
So something like maybe $50,000 a year?
Well, if you take taxes out of that, maybe
once you get taxes out of it, yeah. Indeed. Thanks for shining a little realism on this. Appreciate it, Samantha.
Yeah, no problem.
855-450-3733. In many cases, taxes diminish the amount you're making, but everybody's paying them, so, you got to have some standard by which to... Saying $50,000 a year helps you to compare it to other jobs as opposed to saying how much you actually get, right?
And the thing with truck driving, too, in the truck driving industry, there's a tremendous amount of turnover. So, like, a lot of the guys I know, they were constantly, I'm going to get another job here because they'll pay me a nickel more a mile. Or they'll give me some benefit, and then on the same token, the trucking companies are always looking to find a cheaper guy to hire.
Right. And in many cases, when you're really bidding companies against each other, you find that once they get you over there, that the thing that they said has some more caveats to it or whatever, and doesn't work out the way you'd hoped it, and then it's like, it's a pain to leave. Let's go to Richard calling in from Tennessee. Richard, you're on Free Talk Live.
Thanks, gentlemen and ma'am. This is the first time I've listened to your show. It's really interesting. I live here in Chattanooga, but I'm up in Cleveland today. I wanted to touch a little bit on some things Samantha said and kind of back up a little bit of what she said about the automated trucks. I personally don't see it either for a very long time. A lot of drivers that are leaving the industry are leaving because of health risks.
Yeah, like just sitting.
We're being pushed out. You brought that up a minute ago with the obesity. A lot of it is the sleep apnea thing. And people don't know they have it, so they have to go get the test done, and then they have to have the machine and do everything that they're supposed to do. It shortens your DOT physical for 1 year. Instead of a 2-year card, now you get a 1-year card. It's a hassle.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a hassle. And the money thing, they've come up in pay a little bit across the industry because they are needing drivers. A lot of companies now are moving to automatics instead of shifting gears.
Okay, I was going to asking what automatic meant.
It makes it exponentially easier to learn how to drive a truck if you just learn how to back one up and hold lane, maintain lane, stability.
That's about it, right?
Get a CDL license. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I've been doing it for 20 years.
Thank you for your service too, Richard.
Better. Thank you. The automatics have gotten better than the first generation. I don't know what generation of automatics we're in now, but I'm driving one now, and I actually like it a little bit better. The first one I ever drove was
Richard, thank you for the call. Appreciate it. 855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, capitalists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event, even with coupon code FTLEB. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
Are you a stock or options trader looking for real trading strategies that you can use immediately? Hi, my name is Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy, and I'm on a mission to become the #1 options coach in America. I'm a former vice president at Goldman Sachs. I have over 25 years of options trading experience, and right now I'm giving away my most famous options guide with over 20 unique options strategies that I use every day for free. You can't buy this guide anywhere. To claim your free options trading guide, simply call 855-844-9702 now and mention my name, Scott Bauer, and we will rush you the guide. Call 855-844-9702 and someone from my options team will help you get this guide in your inbox as quickly as possible. Call 855-844-9702 now and start learning to trade the right way. Simply call 855-844-9702. Prosper with options.
Stocks and options trading involves financial risk and is not suitable for all investors.
Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this, right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it, and once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world, so I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here, and I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, connect with others via the forum at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISSparis.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You're welcome to call in, talk about what you want. We've been talking about lucrative careers that don't require a college degree. Article from the Foundation for Economic Education, and I think it's a great idea. It's Mark with you.
Angie here.
And Jay.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. If you're a retailer and you want to accept cryptocurrency, I have a recommendation. It's AnyPay.global, and they've made it incredibly easy for you to take cryptocurrency. There's no paperwork or approval process or anything like that. You don't have, it doesn't spend any really moments to be able to accept cryptocurrency. All you have to do is basically have a tablet at the register. Go to helpmetakebitcoin.com. Helpmetakebitcoin.com, and they will handle it from there. It's a robust website. It's going to handle everything you need. So sign up's easy. Helpmetakebitcoin.com. Let's go to Bad Slave calling in on the Discord line. By the way, listen to how he sounds here. You could sound this good too. Just go to discord.freetalklive.com. Bad Slave, what's on your mind?
Well, I'm really glad to sound well. Mark, Angie, and Jay, good to speak with all of you. I want to address this to all of you and the rest of the world listening in as well, even bigger than that if possible. I think that the bulk of institutions and buses and unions and instructors and people that get a break for being in sports. I want to throw most of that out. I want to get rid of it.
Inefficiencies in the marketplace, right?
What's that?
Inefficiencies in the marketplace.
Well, exactly. I mean, the fact is that learning is the process of delivering data. No.
Okay.
And so also the young people that are motivated, which are most of them,
I'll take your word for that.
Vast majority of them are in fact interested in that delivery data delivery, right?
All right.
The incremental cost of any piece of data being delivered, whatever kind of media it is or whatever, someday probably going to be direct connections to our brains. But in the meantime, we have,
there's a screen in the way at this point. Yeah.
Right. So I think that the actual cost for IT to deliver that data is approaching zero. Is that not true?
They're certainly driving it down.
Well, I mean, I'm serious. How much does it cost to watch a whole movie? The actual action of pulling in a movie and getting that data and watching it. I mean, somebody wants to get paid for it, but just the delivery of the material.
Right. What's the wholesale cost of?
To zero.
I watched Thor: The Dark World last night. And I had bought this previously from Amazon, so it's hosted on their site. What's the actual cost to Amazon to deliver me that movie? So I don't know the answer to that.
Well, the thing is we got to understand too, is that anything that we're getting for free is, we are the product. It's the data we provide all these companies, whether it's social media or selling us something or video hosting or whatever. The data we end up providing them is where they make all their money. In fact, even like Verizon, just having like a Verizon wireless phone, the fact that you have a phone service with Verizon is worth something like, it's a crazy number. It's tens of thousands of dollars that like you being a customer of Verizon is worth to Verizon for like, I don't know, marketing or selling or so I don't know all the answers, but Ernie Hancock had someone on talking about this a few weeks ago.
Jay,
yes.
Jay, that is of no effect.
Well,
hello.
But you could be right.
Give me give me the punchline here, okay?
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just telling you.
So you're saying don't get a job in tech?
Jay is bringing up an effect that's only an effect for the stupid. Okay.
But what I'm saying is
we can control what our appearance is on the web. So how much they're gaining off of advertising and what have you is not the factor involved.
Well, it's a factor involved in what?
That the actual, because of the cheapness of computer hardware, the actual delivery cost of data is approaching zero.
And that information, true or questioned, is meaningful to me in what way? I agree with you.
In what way is that? Why is it that in the last, I don't know how many decades, I mean, I was a schoolboy in the 50s, okay? And since then, the cost of delivering this data to me has ramped up, exponentially. It's ridiculous. I mean, this cost of $100,000 or more for any kind of a decent data delivery is, in fact, it's idiotic and
what
needs
data
to
delivery
stop.
is $100,000? This is the thing that you're not communicating to me, bad slave, what I'm supposed to do with this information. I don't understand.
Well, I mean, the fact is that we should stop.
Stop what?
Stop actually, spending that money to, get the data that's available through the internet and learn on our own.
Okay, finally. Thank you. So you're saying that I can get a college degree education for free online through MIT, and I don't have to pay $100,000 or $200,000 for an MIT degree. That was the piece that was missing for me. Yes, it's absolutely true.
I mean, I was building up to that.
I got you. I just didn't understand. Thank you for the call. Appreciate it. 855-450-3733, 855-450-FREE. He's 100% right.50 is basically free. The piece of paper you get at the graduation is 50, 75, 100, 150,000 a year.
You can basically learn
not a year,
almost anything you want, literally just from the internet. Like,
yes,
I have a kid who's going to come make a knife, and I'm like, what kind of knife do you want to make? So I'm like, just YouTube search, making a knife, forging a knife.
Yep.
And so he's like found all these videos and watching these videos, and you watch these videos and watch all these guys do these things. I mean, and then you just actually figure out, that you can do it.
And you practice.
And I'm going to provide them with tools in the spot and little help, and we're going to do it.
Absolutely. And you pretty much can learn anything through these classes. Admittedly, some careers will want that degree, and for some careers you're going to need to get it. But if you really just want to learn, the internet's got it for you. Like, there's no if you want it spoon-fed to you and you want the degree at the end, that's what college is for.
This is the easiest time in history to skill build right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. I think there's an advertiser out there called Skillshare, as a matter of fact, that does that sort of thing. Let's go to Militant Agorist. Militant Agorist, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, how you doing?
All's well. What's on your mind?
I'm in the logistics industry, and we've got a real big short of drivers.
Oh, so a shortage of drivers for truck drivers. But doesn't shortage mean, though, that we just have to pay too much, pay more than we want for truck drivers?
Yeah, that is. I mean, of course, that's what it means.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the company I work for, we've got a union.
You're muffled.
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Well, the company that I work for has a union, so there's a set pay scale. And all of that. But
so then you do have a legitimate shortage because you have a governor on the marketplace as far as pricing goes. So
right, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, we can't find enough people to do it, and I mean, I guess that shouldn't be a thing because, well, if we
are you a broker?
We got a limit on how much we can pay them, but shouldn't the pay be going up because of that?
If there's a shortage, yes. The supply goes down, then and demand remains the same, then pricing should go up. Yeah.
Are you a broker by any chance?
I'm not a broker.
What's that do?
But we do work with a company that does LTL stuff.
What's LTL? What's broker?
Broker is someone.
Truckload.
Yeah. Oh, so a broker is someone who basically brokers out loads that need to get hauled to individual truckers to get it hauled or companies, and LTL is less than truckload.
855-450-3733. Free Talk Live.
#1 international best-selling author Matthew David Hurtado's pain was simple. Lyme disease bankrupted him in 2009, watching bankers take everything from his family after building a 7-figure business from his couch. God called him to ministry to teach prosperity based on pain he could not tolerate in others' lives. IRS, creditors, car loans, debt. It's the Babylonian system, and you have to escape it before it's too late. Haven't you ever wanted to wake up from this nightmare? Matthew David's free quick study guide shows you what to do today to build lasting wealth in any economy. His discovery he made? It's all consciousness. Get Matthew's 7-figure quick study guide for clarity, certainty, and a proven strategy to build wealth once and for all. Visit escaperightnow.com. Do it now. It's free. escaperightnow.com for a prosperous future ahead with peace of mind. escaperightnow.com.
Above and beyond like any work.
Should you be able to earn an honest living free from senseless government interference? The Institute for Justice thinks so. That's why we've spent years defending hard-working men and women from pointless government regulations. Nationwide, IJ has created opportunity by reducing government power. But there is still more work to be done. Visit our website today at ij.org. Let IJ take care of the government so you can take care of your business.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,293. Silver at $15.08, and Bitcoin is trading around $5,134. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at innoscale.net. In the news, a former Mississippi cop has learned her fate after she pleaded guilty to leaving her 3-year-old daughter strapped in her hot patrol car until she died, as the cop had sex with her supervisor inside his home. Former Long Beach police officer Cassie Barker will spend the next 20 years behind bars for the death of her 3-year-old daughter. The Free Thought Project reports that her sentence was handed down Monday, with the judge telling Barker that she failed in her responsibility to protect and serve as a mother and as a police officer. On September 30th, 2016, Barker strapped her 3-year-old daughter into a car seat in the back of her patrol car and entered her supervisor's home for a midday romp. Barker knew the air conditioner did not work, but nevertheless turned on the vent and went inside. As her daughter sat strapped in her deathbed, Barker had sex with Officer Clark Ladner inside the home. After the deed had been done, Barker and Ladner then fell asleep. Authorities said little Cheyenne Barker's body temperature reached 107 degrees before she died. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Bray Botanicals. High-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Bray Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, fighting for your right to consume plant-based medicine and natural remedies. Find out more at mybraybotanicals.com. And right now, Liberty Beat listeners can save 10% by using promo code SNLS at checkout. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat, online at snls.news and libertybeat.news. I'm Mick Murrow. Your news now continues. Lawyers for an American journalist who believes he was placed on the government's infamous kill list warned Tuesday that the rights of all U.S. citizens are at stake if the country's drone assassination program is allowed to continue. Activist Post reports the organization's comments came as part of a response to the U.S. government's attempt to dismiss a lawsuit regarding its use of the list. Reprieve is representing Bilal Abdul Karim, a journalist and U.S. citizen, who claims he was repeatedly targeted and nearly killed on 5 separate occasions by drone and missile attacks in 2016, when he was reporting on the ongoing conflict in Syria. Karim joined an Al Jazeera journalist in 2017 in a lawsuit against the government, demanding that the Trump administration remove their names from the kill list of potential targets for the U.S. drone program. If the government manages to have the lawsuit dismissed, legal experts warn it will allow the Trump administration and future presidents to secretly place any American on a kill list without telling them why, before stripping them of their constitutional rights to due process. Last week, Utah Governor Gary Herbert signed a bill into law that requires police to get a warrant before accessing data stored in the cloud. The new law will not only increase privacy protections in Utah, it will also hinder the federal surveillance state. Activist Post reports that Representative Craig Hall, a Republican from West Valley City, sponsored the House bill. The new law prohibits law enforcement agencies from accessing electronic information or data transmitted to a remote computing service without a warrant based on probable cause in most situations. In effect, it will prohibit police from warrantlessly accessing information uploaded into the cloud. The House passed the bill by a 71-0 vote. The Senate approved the measure 23-0. With Herbert's signature, the new law will go into effect May 14th. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting with the latest edition of the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
This is really the greatest country in the whole world. All the other countries suck. And if this country ever goes to war, as it often wants to do, I promise to help go and kill all the other countries' kids. God bless GE. God bless Citigroup. Amen.
Very good, kids. Now come and get your Ritalin.
Free Talk Live.
That's right, it is Free Talk Live. And you are free to call in and talk live here on the airwaves. We're kicking off the second hour of Free Talk Live. It's Mark with you.
Angie here.
And Jay.
If it's between 7 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Time, any day of the year, you can call in. We've been talking about this, the five highest paying jobs, five high-paying jobs for that are lucrative that you don't need a degree for. But it's basically been Trucker Talk Live for the first hour here, Free Talk Live. And one of the things that was said was that you can more or less get the education of a university through their online, in many cases, online programs that you can watch YouTube videos and these sorts of things and get the education. And I think Andrew's got a comment on that. Andrew, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
All's well.
So the big thing is with a college education is that you're directly working with people who are holding you accountable, and you're working with companions and coworkers, basically, that are helping you become the best student and learner you can be. And it's not just about information.
Do you mean like a bachelor's degree, or are you talking about beyond a bachelor's?
I'm talking about before, when we're in high school, we should be working with other students, you gain social skills and the ability to think critically that you wouldn't get if you were just reading a book at home.
I don't know what it was like for you in high school, but in my high school, we were rarely, maybe a handful of times, assigned one of these sort of group projects. And usually what it taught me was that I could talk the ugly smart girl into doing my work for me.
It's not even about the group projects alone, but just being in a classroom with other students, engaged in the student conversation. The teachers go to school themselves for a long time.
Yep.
school teaching as a skill has improved a lot over the past 20, 30 years.
So schools are better now than they were.
You couldn't handle it now. Yeah.
Okay.
And the high schools are better now. The colleges would be better if we took better care of our TAs and the assistant teachers.
How can we complain
have,
about the people?
Using them as,
how can we complain about the people that these institutions are kicking out so much more? I mean, are they better human beings than I was at whatever age, whatever given age we're talking about? Because I mean, I don't know. Best I can tell is kids are lazy.
I feel like this generation is amazing.
I feel like this generation is lazy.
People get on this generation's case. This generation, if you look at the statistics, is working their butt off.
I started work at 12. I haven't found one person doing that. Oh, are you talking about doing schoolwork as work?
Or going to baseball practice as work?
I'm talking about this generation when they enter the workforce. This generation is expected to spend more time on their phone, emailing the boss, and doing everything else. Also working in the gig economy. The gig economy is very tiring.
Yeah.
You have to jump through a million hoops to even get a gig.
Yep.
And then when you get one, you have to work your butt off for it.
Yep.
So if you just break it down into hours spent working or looking for work, this generation, for what we get, benefits-wise, is very low. If you look at
I'll say that the cost of labor is going
years,
down. I would agree with you on that. Is that the labor itself is it's harder and harder to get compensated for it. You've got to look in specialized areas. That's one of the reasons we're doing this particular bit here. Certainly, you don't get out of high school and suddenly the jobs just fall at your feet. I would not claim that.
And you don't just watch YouTube videos and suddenly think that you're a political scientist, because if that was true, you'd probably end up watching a whole bunch of Prager University stuff and end up very, very stupid.
Well, I mean, so don't watch YouTube videos through their algorithm, but you can. There's lots of great education out there. The colleges themselves offer these morgues, right? These massive online learning, whatever the hell they're called. I don't know.
Yeah, and I took college classes, and I can tell you that if it wasn't for some of the professors who really pushed me, and I thought I was like, oh, I read these things before. I read Benjamin Franklin before I came to this class, so I already know what he's going to say. I'm like, nope, this teacher, this professor, she showed me I didn't really know how to read him properly. And it's just like a different way.
You're not selling me with Benjamin Franklin. I mean, frankly, you can go read Benjamin Franklin for free on your own time. The idea of paying somebody to tell you about it.
The thing is, you can read it, and I did read it.
Yeah.
But until I took that class, I didn't realize that I wasn't reading it.
How does that make me better at earning?
I'm talking about just one example of how college in the classroom changed my view on reading just for fun.
So you don't think
as a hobbyist to
college is a
increase my
ripoff?
Education?
Well, there would be a difference.
Well, okay, take that back. College is a ripoff in the sense that we're charging way too much. And it shouldn't be based on if I can get $100,000. Look at Britain, look at France, look at other countries that do better jobs of making where the lowest income people can get into the best colleges. That's what we need to do. Make college affordable, not just pretend it's not important anymore.
I'm not sure that. Well, okay. So again, you can't change the world, right? None of my listeners here who are listening to me are going to be able to change the socioeconomic system in the United States. You can yak all you want about how college should be free.
As a group, we can.
Okay. Well, let me give you a rebuttal then, Andrew.
That's what people power is about.
Andrew, go to Europe if you want free college. Why in the world would you stay here?
How about I make my home country better?
But how about, why would you do that? I picked up my life and I moved.
Why would I make my country better?
No, let me give you. I have a serious question here. This is a serious question that I cannot get answered by one of these people who wants to turn college into 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th grade. I seriously don't understand. Oh, and free medical, because that goes along with it. I know you're down with that too.
I'd love to answer this question.
I know. Here's my question. My question is, I picked up my life 12 years ago to move for the Free State Project because I believe that the maximum role of government should be the protection of life, liberty, and property. I, like thousands of other people, moved from Florida, well, in my case it was Florida, but from other places around the world to New Hampshire to work for that one particular goal. If I found a place that was more libertarian than the place that I live significantly, and I thought that was the place where we were going to see some benefits, I would pick up and move there. So when I hear somebody say, they do it better in Denmark, I'm like, go to effing Denmark. Like, I'm not saying I want to get rid of you because I've been told to move to Somalia so many times that I could strangle somebody over it. What I'm saying is why would you live your life in Albuquerque when you could go, when paradise is just around the corner?
Well, one, it's moving from the United States to Europe is not the easiest task, number one.
Have you tried?
Number two, not everyone can drop everything and lose their social network. Not everyone has that money. The poorest people are actually, it's the hardest for lots of them to move.
I was not wealthy.
Think about when we, no, well, I'm
it
not
cost me $1,000 to move.
You as an individual, I'm talking about groups and their ability to move statistically.
Statistics and groups doesn't really matter to me, though.
And make it a libertarian paradise, but that doesn't mean that the wealth that New Hampshire has should ignore the poverty that maybe Alabama has. And we can't just empty out Alabama.
Well, why Alabama?
Because they have poor people.
Why not Botswana?
Alabama. We're talking. We'll talk about the whole world. I'll say that New Hampshire, including and the rest of the United States, benefits from a global economic system that oppresses the poor people there.
Yeah.
So I will.
So why not take? Because the poor people in this country are rich compared to poor people in other countries. So why not just tax all the Americans and send the money?
Relative deprivation. That's a fallacy. That's a fallacy of relative deprivation. You might as well say, well, I'm only hitting you if you're domestically abusing your wife. I'm not like putting you in the hospital. Ooh, you have it so much better. No, poor people here are suffering. We have counties in North Dakota that have lower life expectancies than Sudan. And that's because of racial and economic oppression.
And it has to do with genetics too. I mean, right? Like, there's all kinds of issues that come into play. American Indians have
Native American reservations don't have low life expectancies because of their genetics.
They do.
Probably because of socioeconomic reasons.
They tend to be attracted to alcohol and sugars more than most people are, and then therefore they have problems with diabetes and alcoholism. So yeah, they do have a genetic issue.
Oh, yeah. So the reason why African Americans eat soul food is just because they just love getting diabetes, but not because
Who was talking about African Americans?
Came from slavery.
Soul food isn't going to give you diabetes.
Because I know about African American dietary issues more than I know about Native American dietary issues, but I do know that Native Americans had alcohol and intergenerational oppression and trauma that white groups have not had to suffer from. So when we start pointing fingers and saying that's why they're alcoholics.
So how much do I owe them? Hold on, Andrew, before you go on. How much do I owe them? That's what I want to know. How much do I owe them? Free Talk Live.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISS Paris.com.
Go to themorganreport.com and receive updates and insights you will not find anywhere else on the web. You will discover how to grow and protect your wealth under all market conditions. The free Morgan Report provides interviews, webinars, question and answer sessions, plus mind-blowing videos. As David Morgan says, let my passion create your wealth. TheMorganReport.com. TheMorganReport.com.
I want to tell you about my favorite cryptocurrency wallet, Edge Wallet, at edge.app. Edge is the wallet I use more than any other, and that was true long before Edge Wallet became a sponsor of Free Talk Live. Edge Wallet allows you to buy, sell, trade, and securely hold your cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokens, Monero, Ripple, Dash, Bitcoin Cash, and more. It's available for both Android and iOS, and you can download it via the Play or App Store or via Edge Wallet's website, edge.app. Secure your freedom with Edge Wallet.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market. Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. It's physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project Early Movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com.
There are basically two types of advertising, direct response and branding. Radio's great for direct response with its low cost to listener ratio, but audio can't be beat for branding, which is a longer-term endeavor. You want to be the first thing that someone thinks of when they think about your product or service. If you have a local business that you want kept top of mind in your community, call the station. If you need national reach, Free Talk Live's got around 200 radio stations, millions of monthly listening sessions, can suit all budgets, and if we don't think we're right for you, we'll tell you. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. You can call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. My name is Mark.
Angie here.
And Jay.
If you've been watching Bitcoin's price today, it's been skyrocketing. What Bitcoin is Bitcoin is a practical system for you to control your own wealth in the world. Right? Like, it's not turned over to banks. It's not turned over to governments. No one can prevent you from sending money to somebody. Nobody can force you to send money to somebody without banging you in the knee with a wrench or something.
If I could add to that, Bitcoin is the first peer-to-peer currency that actually works in the modern day. For years, I have been trying to barter and trade and buy and sell them, like silver, for example, which is really hard to do. With Bitcoin, it's just so easy because it's like digital precious metals as far as I'm concerned.
They called it digital gold for some time. Go to Bitcoin.com. They're your premier source for everything Bitcoin related. They can show you how to get a wallet, how to buy Bitcoin, where to spend Bitcoin, places like SaveItPurse.com, the latest Bitcoin news, engage with the community. You can even get some free Bitcoin. All of it at Bitcoin.com. They make it easy for you. Bitcoin.com. Let's go back to Andrew in Albuquerque. So Andrew called in to rebut the notion that you could learn online. I guess the basic premise is that Prager University made videos and you don't like them. And then I asked kind of how, why not just take control of your life and solve your problems in a practical fashion? And I think your answer was some people are poor.
The idea is that groups of people are facing oppression and that they can't just pick up and move. And if they do, they can face oppression where they go. So if you look at African Americans after Reconstruction failed, they went to the North, and then due to the redlining and bigotry and discrimination ended up being thrown in the ghettos. So then what should they do? Should they move someplace else, get beat up someplace else? It's just like, where do the poor go to not be taken advantage of?
I would agree with you that African Americans had decades of real problems about figuring out where to live in the United States. I think that individually, an African American or a black person can solve their problems, and that would be through education, hard work, and a good attitude. Right? Those things are going to go a long way.
But education costs too much money, I thought. So now we're back at square one.
Well, go work as a plumber.
Made groups of people poor.
Fine, go work as a plumber. Go work as a carpenter.
I would like to point out what is the number
There's
one.
only so many plumbers that not everyone can be a plumber, though.
Oh, yeah.
Go to the plumbing businesses. Obviously, the trades is really the answer here, right? Like, you know what I'm saying.
Trade schools are amazing, and you can't just learn trade schools on YouTube either. That's the point. You need.
Oh, you can definitely learn.
You can definitely
trades
learn the trades on YouTube.
Watching videos. Kids learn how to blacksmith. They get the ideas, and then they go right into it, and they can apply it practically. I do it with them often. I teach blacksmithing.
I know amazing plumbers and amazing tradespeople, and they would die if they had to deal with people that learned on TV.
Well, you don't walk in the first day.
There's a lot to do with experience.
Right. You don't walk in the first day at the plumbing job and demand the plumber's wage, right? Like, I started at 12 years old earning minimum wage, actually lower than that at 12 years old. And, that's you have few skills, you earn less money. You start working hard and keeping a good attitude. I think that hard work and a good attitude is a big solution to a lot of problems. But if you complain, definitely the government will send money your way.
And you had mentioned that these like the African Americans getting pushed into the ghetto and being oppressed. The biggest oppression I think was going on with poor people is the fact that poor people are being tremendously subsidized by the government. And when you subsidize anything, you create more of it. So we have generations of people who have lived on government subsidies.
That's not necessarily true. The idea that just because you give people money to help them live their lives and not be hungry is going to just demotivate them.
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
It's been proven untrue by social research.
Well,
it may be true in your head, but if you research it, it's not true.
What's going on in South Side of Chicago?
Is a donut hole. You can have a donut hole to where if I make too much money, I lose benefit, and so I don't try to make more money. That's true. But if you do it gradually and you give people autonomy and you give them enough money to where they can go to school, and be an apprentice, so they don't have to have a hungry kid.
Anybody can go to school
at low wage.
Anybody could go.
Not if I need a job. If I need the work.
Okay, then
right
go
now,
work at the plumber's office. You don't need to be this is where your paradigm's locked up.
If I can't afford daycare, and how can I afford daycare if I don't work?
Look,
and you see, then you
seriously,
get
you're right,
Andrew. That people are in.
Good results come from good decisions. Good decisions come from experience, and experience comes from bad decisions. There's no doubt that if you make bad decisions in your youth, it will affect your earning potential later in life.
Unless you're rich, because then you're fine, and you get a slap.
I grew up in a house with no. I grew up in a house with no washer and dryer.
Stop making it about you and make it about groups of people and statistics.
I can't answer things about statistics, Andrew.
And making it a micro issue.
Andrew,
you're applying microeconomics and micro issues to macro problems.
I am not.
Macroeconomics.
I'm giving everybody really good advice, and that advice is work hard and have a good attitude.
Which is great in the end,
Andrew
but then if you
everything.
look at how it works on the macro level, it's not true. And meritocracy is a lie, and it's always been a lie.
I didn't say anything about meritocracy.
Period. But that's what you're saying.
I came from the
and you're
Andrew.
Gonna be okay.
Here's the reason I don't.
Here's
the reason you're going to have a difficult time convincing me, Andrew. I spent 8.5 years in prison for a crime I didn't commit. I got out with nothing to my name. I am a highly successful.
Why are you the exemplar? You're not. Just because you could be the Jesus of making it from nothing, swag the riches. I don't care.
All right.
I'm talking about groups of people
let
and
me
how
ask you
human
this:
beings behave.
Why should I give you 1 red cent for free without you working for
because
it? Why?
You live in a society that's going to be better because it's helping people. That's not a society that's worse that has people.
If I
dying
don't want to pay, Andrew, what happens to me?
If you don't want to live in this society, I guess you can move, right?
Well, yes,
right?
I can.
That's what you told me.
That's a real problem.
You should leave the country because I don't want to live in a country that has poverty in it.
What? So,
I want to get rid of poverty,
and Andrew,
I'm going to do everything I can to get rid of poverty.
As the United States drives out
us getting rid of poverty, then maybe you could move to a place that
you don't have poverty. There is no poverty in America. Poor people are holding cell phones in their hands.
Poor people are fat. They eat plenty.
You have people in Pine Ridge Reservation. They don't have running water in lots of the houses.
Yep.
They don't have electricity in lots of the houses. And then you're going to say it's because their genes. make it where they
No,
are
I
in
didn't
poverty.
say that it was
That's
because
what
they're
you said
genes.
earlier.
You were
That's
listing
what
off a
it's
few
the
things, and
genes
I
that
added
make them
something to
have
the
a low,
list.
high poverty rate.
Get out of the reservation is my solution. The same solution I had for you when you started complaining that America...
They were genocided into the reservation. And
Buddy,
then you're going to have...
I ain't ever killed an Indian. Hey,
and all
look,
their family.
Andrew, I've never killed an Indian. I've never enslaved a black person. Why do I owe them anything?
Oh, my goodness, but you're a United States citizen, and this country is rich off the blood and the sweat and the tears of black and brown and red people.
And white people.
Excellent.
That's the fact. We're all benefiting from it.
I believe every one of them has every
I'm
opportunity
benefiting
to
from
move
it.
forward. They should have every opportunity.
We're going to move forward by getting rid of poverty. And we're going to do it by
Government
having
isn't going to get rid of
programs
poverty,
proven
but government
scientifically to
creates
help.
more.
How do you get rid of poverty? That's what I want to know.
Thank you for the call. Please call in again with another issue. I think you've been great. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. Unlikely I'm ever going to agree with Andrew, but it is Free Talk Live. And the number is 855-450-3733.
She seems happier. Her fur is so much shinier, silkier, softer. She has really mellowed a lot.
Sheba is 105 lean pounds of shiny, smooth, happy dog for life.
The shedding has stopped. The itching has stopped.
Since 2001, we've helped more than 250,000 dogs get over their nutritional deficiency miseries.
And saved our customers bazillions in vet bills.
Everything we tried failed except the Dynovite.
Come to Dynovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
The omega-3 fatty acids, flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food. Dynovite is nutrition.
Dynovite for life.
Don't let your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy.
Come to Dynovite for help.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
There is no such thing as attention span, according to Jerry Seinfeld, who figures that people have an infinite attention span if you are entertaining them. Hey, he's kept us from channel surfing for several decades, and now he's making more millions as a Las Vegas headliner. With money and attention so scarce now, effective communication skills have never been more important, especially if you're looking for work. So choose every single word as though it was the last word the person you're speaking to will hear. Otherwise, it might be. Avoid redundancies such as added bonus, advance warning, end result, prior history, or personal belongings. And avoid cliches like the plague. Just kidding. For more tips, hit survivalspeech.com. I'm Holland Cook.
What do you shop for that you could otherwise buy at Amazon? Pretty much everything, right? Amazon has competitive pricing and they deliver, and that's a big plus. If you could plan ahead in your shopping, would you be interested in saving up to 33%? There's a catch. You have to do your shopping in Bitcoin. But imagine those savings. It's like a huge raise. All you have to do is go to saveitpurse.com. We've saved thousands, and you can too. Plan ahead and save. Saveitpurse.com. LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live.
What is your goal? What do you want of this revolution that you speak of?
You got to stir things up enough where the people will actually revolt in a big way.
And what will that result in?
Millions of people in the streets, you know, and the military guys ain't going to like it.
So what is your goal? you don't really know, do you? You don't really know what you want besides chaos.
A bloody revolution in the streets is
You
the
want a
only
bloody
way.
revolution? This is why I don't want to associate with people like you. Thank you for the call. You're dangerous and crazy, in my opinion, if you're talking about bloody revolution. Violent revolution just results in more violence in the future because the people who were the most violent are the ones that rise to power in whatever new power structure is created after the revolution's all over and done with, after the blood has spilt. Whoopee-doo, you've changed out one gang of criminals for another gang of thugs.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern. Live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM. Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. The number's 855-450-3733. It's 855-453. You can call in and talk about whatever's on your mind. Want to tell you about ForkFest. ForkFest 2019 is going on right in New Hampshire, June 13th through the 18th. Jay, what can people expect at ForkFest?
Well, they can expect to hang out with a bunch of libertarians, voluntarists, people who call themselves, peaceful anarchists. You will see people open carrying. You will see some blacksmithing actually happening there, skill building. My brother will probably be there flying his drone around and telling people about that because he's into that. I'm going to be doing my man camp is basically kicking off at ForkFest this year. And man camp's about building skills, and so kids can grow up and actually be confident and get out of poverty. I mean, building skills and exercising skills, and just like you said earlier, Mark, having a desire to actually do something and a good attitude will get about anybody out of poverty.
Yeah, I really do believe that.
So getting back to ForkFest, it's just it's a decentralized, basically unorganized, that I've been actually doing a lot of organizing of, via the man camp. A group of people getting together at Rogers Campground. It's I'm looking forward to it. We're going to be doing all kinds of things, teaching people about ironworking, teaching people about chainsaws, knife sharpening.
Go to forkfest.party. It's forkfest.party. You'll get the Telegram chat there, the forum. You'll connect with people and find out what's going on. Forkfest.party. So all this got started because we read an article about 5 lucrative jobs that don't require a college degree. And I'm of the opinion at this point that not that the world does not need from this generation some people who are going to college. However, I would say that there are, for you personally, individually, there's decisions you're going to make before you go into college. Hopefully there's some people listening, maybe they're the parents of people listening or grandparents of people listening, who may be of the opinion college is right for everybody because that's what I was told. Well, I don't think it is anymore. And I wish if I could go back that I would be able to tell some of my friends who went to college and that sort of thing that, well, there's some better ideas. One of those ideas that was posited during this article was truck drivers. They make good money, and we had lots of truckers call in. I just want to go through this list and talk about some other kinds of jobs, and these are all going to be trades. Elevator installers and repairers. So, glamorous, this job is not. Fulfilling and in demand, however, very much so. The Bureau of Labor Statistics states that this trade is experiencing an increasing amount of demand for workers while paying almost $40 per hour, or a median of $80,000 per year, without requiring any kind of regular higher education besides the on-the-job training and apprenticing. So, one thing I don't want to say is that going to Votech school is a solution to something. It could be. If you know the job you want to do, maybe Votech is the right solution, Vocational Technical Institute. But maybe it's not. Maybe the right thing to do is to go work for the company, a company that does what it is that you are interested in doing, and building your skills up that way.
I would recommend to any young man or woman to try to apprentice with somebody. There are electricians you can apprentice with. There are plumbers you can apprentice with. I actually did apprentice with an HVAC installation guy growing up, and he actually paid me really good. He paid me like $15 an hour when I was like 13 years old.
That's really good.
In the first week, he just basically, my dad knew him, and he's like, hey, I need a kid to help me out with a job. My guy got hurt and he quit or something. So he's like, I'll just take him. You know, there was no talk about pay or nothing. You're going with Steve. You know,
yep.
You can be up tomorrow morning, you know, during summer, you know, and so I went with him. And he's like, oh, you did a good job. He showed me how to do this stuff. But like welding, blacksmithing, my brother's a farrier, a horseshoer. He put horseshoes to horses' hooves. And he always wants an apprentice. Always, because you just a guy to go into the truck and grab something, and, and they're learning, and they're standing right there, and they're doing it. And he's, I don't know, probably goes through 5 to 7 apprentice a year, and some of these guys are like, yep, that was cool. Then they go on to the next thing.
Yep.
Some of these guys are shoeing horses part-time, or they dive into it full-time, or they go on to a Kentucky School of Horsemanship horseshoeing program, and then they go to college once they decide they like it. But if you're looking to go into college, like I say to all these college kids, where are you going to get a job? How are you going to monetize your education? How are you going to be able to pay for all of this? And that is a question few of them can answer. Because that, like, what's the goal? What's the end game? And it is just so important that, you know, they have a goal. And a lot of these goals in college kids is, just like you said, they think they're going to just go to college and a job falls into their lap. That is literally what is sold to a lot of these kids.
Right. They're saying that colleges have job placement programs, so they're saying all kinds of stuff like this. And in many cases, they kick you out the door with the degree you asked for, and that's it. And all the debt that was compiled.
My most successful friends that are my peers, my age, are the ones who are hardworking and easy to get along with. And they have good attitudes. That's really like the similarities, whether they got college degrees or not.
Somebody who's ready to learn, who's excited and passionate about learning, they're a pleasure to work with, and thus they're going to get paid to do what they're prescribed to do here. Boilermakers. Now, actually, my nephew is a Boilermaker, and he works for the Union, 598 in Chicago. Represent, right? And he's, he loves the job. He is financially secure. He started his own business and had some luck part-time after doing the boiler stuff, and didn't have to go back to work, but went back to work because he wanted to have the sort of the insurance coverage and just to have people to talk to. So he enjoyed it, so he went back. But physically demanding career, boiler making is one of those jobs that, yet again, is desperately searching for staff. As reported by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, you can generate $30 an hour, $62,000 a year with no need to go to school. Now, the union itself has a school. They teach you how to do it, but you get paid on the job. Plumber, for being, this is one I mentioned earlier, for being a dying job, being a plumber is surprisingly lucrative. If you choose to go the self-directed route, you'll be able to benefit from the on-the-job training and apprenticing, which means that even as you're learning, you're getting paid. Salaries can vary between $52,000 and $90,000 a year, much more than you could expect working as an overqualified college intern. And yeah, I mean, plumbers are always going to be in demand because people don't want to get their hands dirty.
Well, and the thing is, too, is everybody wants to be comfortable. They want to be in a house. They want it to be dry. They want it to be not too warm, not too cold. They want that running water. And all these things need maintenance. They all have, a lifetime. For example, the roofers are always be in demand. Anybody who's going to do any kind of house remodeling and repair, auto mechanics, people want cars. They use them. New cars are crazy expensive. And mechanics will always be, in demand also. But yeah, plumbers, because people want to be comfortable. If you're in any kind of industry that provides comfort to people, you're going to have work to do. You're going to have a job.
Angie, how old are your boys, and what are they looking to do?
One is 8 and one is 14. The 14-year-old wants to be a professional dirt bike rider.
Okay.
And the 8-year-old wants to be a professional YouTuber.
Okay. Well, I sincerely hope they will do well in those career lines. I think they need some kind of fallback.
I have suggested that to both of them.
Right.
Shiloh's is a professional gamer.
Well, He's 8,
Yes.
and I suspect he'll get a little better dose of the world. But I don't think there's any problem with having these lofty goals early on, just so long as you continue working towards the goal. Make the money as you're going and develop the skill set as you go. And then you've got something to do before or after, or even if you fall off the motorcycle while you're doing a big jump and hurt yourself.
Yes.
It's always a possibility. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450 free. Got one more job that pays well, and you don't need a college degree for it. Free Talk Live.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, capitalists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event, even with coupon code FTLEB. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
Gold is a better way. Imagine doing business with a company that seeks to add massive value before asking for your business. My name's Adam Barata. I'm the co-owner of Advantage Gold and the author of the national best-selling book, Gold is a Better Way. The book may not be for you, but the tens of thousands who've read it have been blown away to learn why gold is set to soar to over $10,000. We're so confident this book will change the way you think about investing, we've purchased 1,000 copies from the publisher and are giving them to serious investors. If you have an IRA or 401k with over $100,000, we'd like to send you your copy. Just text the word bestseller to 49776. That's bestseller to 49776. You can buy it on Amazon, go to Barnes & Noble, or text bestseller and get it for free. Text bestseller to 49776. That's bestseller to 49776. We promise to add massive value before ever asking for your business. Gold is a better way. Text bestseller to 49776.
Would you like to hang out with Penn Jillette? He's keynoting Freedom Fest this year. I, for one, am thrilled. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. They take a Big Ten approach with libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchists, and just open-minded people mingling together to hear real debates, share real solutions, and converse freely. This year's theme is the Wild West, a time of liberty and opportunity, or a time of anarchy and violence. Maybe both. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and get your tickets now. freedomfest.com/FTL. Not convinced yet? Hey, I understand. It's a high-end event, even with coupon code FTLEB. Sure, you're likely to receive investment advice that'll make that sum seem paltry, but I have something special for you. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL and you'll get the 5 best speeches from last year for free. Call it a test drive. Do yourself a favor and go to freedomfest.com/FTL. freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount.
The LRN.FM's social media channels have been revamped. We've eliminated Facebook and focused on other platforms like Twitter and Mastodon, the decentralized alternative to Twitter. On our accounts, you'll find posts from multiple LRN.FM show hosts together in one place. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.lrn.fm, or better yet, move to the decentralized Mastodon social media platform at toot.lrn.fm, toot.lrn.fm. I think you'll like it.
Looking for a great real estate investment? Consider New Hampshire, which is ground zero for the Liberty Movement. Your first call should be to Mark Worden from Porcupine Real Estate. He's more than just a real estate agent. He's your New Hampshire concierge. Where are the best places to live? Do you want farm, city, the burbs, or forest? Do you want a duplex or multifamily building so that renters pay your mortgage? There are homes in all price ranges in New Hampshire, and Mark can help with financing too. Invest in liberty and property. Mark Worden can help.
PorcupineRealEstate.com.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Hey, it is Free Talk Live. You can call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. It's Mark with you.
Angie here.
And Jay.
855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. You can call in and talk about whatever's on your mind here on Free Talk Live. I want to tell you about Freedom Fest. Freedom Fest is the largest liberty-oriented gathering in the world. Freedom Fest's theme this year is the Wild West. Liberty and opportunity, or lawlessness and violence. Penn Jillette, Candace Owens, John Mackey, Kevin O'Leary, Kevin Harrington, both of these guys are from Shark Tank, by the way, Stephen Moore, Grover Norquist, libertarians, conservatives, liberals, anarchist capitalists, and just open-minded people all mingling together to hear real debates and share real solutions and just converse freely. Go to freedomfest.com/FTL right now. Get your tickets. That's freedomfest.com/FTL. Use coupon code FTLEB for a discount. Plus, if you go to freedomfest.com/FTL and maybe you're not quite ready to lay down all the money for Freedom Fest, I understand. Go check out the 5 best speeches from last year. We've got them right there for free at freedomfest.com/FTL. Judge Napolitano, Alan Dershowitz, Charlie Kirk, Heather McDonald, John Mackey, all for free. See them right now. See what you're missing out on. freedomfest.com/FTL. Please, freedomfest.com/FTL. Let's go to Nate calling in from Albuquerque. Nate, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. What's on your mind?
Oh, sorry. So yeah, I'm a welder. I live in Albuquerque. I've traveled around the country. I didn't want you guys to get everybody too hyped up about being a Boilermaker and no high school experience, because that's honestly the equivalent of like becoming a rock star. Not only in this country, but I think most of the world.
So as a Boilermaker, it's unlikely to become a Boilermaker, you mean?
No, as somebody who didn't go to welding school.
Okay.
To just start apprenticing. The test to become a Boilermaker is extremely, extremely hard. Extremely hard.
So,
and I've worked for the National Labs, and I've welded on nuclear weapons.
Right.
I'm not a terrible welder.
Everybody fails the Boilerman test at least once. All Boilermen have failed that test. It's hard.
It's freaking hard, yeah.
Yeah, now, but this is what I mean. My father-in-law and my nephew are both Boilermen, and they just, the union hired them, and they took care of all the school.
That's amazing. It really is. I just don't want everybody. I mean,
there's a lot more welders than there are Boilermen. That's for sure.
That's definitely for sure. Yeah.
But you would agree that welding is the sort of career. Jay, you're a welder too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Among your skill sets, is the sort of career.
What's up, Jay?
Hey.
The sort of career that one can parlay into meaningful and lucrative work, though, right?
Many other things. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't disagree with you. A year spent at Votech learning welding is probably not a year wasted.
No, totally not.
Nate, thanks for the call. Appreciate it. I think he's right that, the sort of Boilerman, it's a little more difficult to get that job than others. I don't know. Maybe you have to have connections. I have no idea how this works. I'm reading the article here, and I have a little bit of experience.
So boilers are essentially heating devices. They heat water. They boil water.
I'm so glad you said that, because I had no idea what it was.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay, so like, for example, the wood stove behind your house is a wood boiler.
Okay.
Well, it's not pressurized, so it's a hydronic oven.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, all right.
But we do colloquially call it a boiler. Yeah.
So outdoor wood boiler is what most people are going to...
Yep, they do. They call it that.
Industry standard. We put a little pressure relief valve on top of it. Now it's pressurized system.
Hers isn't.
Well, I know, but so mine is a pressurized system.
Okay.
Anyways, so but like back in the day, the heat that was heated most of the homes was steam.
Yep.
And so you'll see in some of these old houses and old buildings that they have basically like a brick or a block room all around the steam boiler. Because what would happen if steam boiler was any defect in it, that house would be a smoking pit. It would just blow that house up. Steam pressure expanding because some pipe fails and it causes it to plug up, or usually what it would be is like a pipe would collapse internally because of rust. And then for like boiler fittings, and there's all kinds of like heat exchangers. Like the heat exchanger from your heating source to your hot water is a heat exchanger, plate-on-plate heat exchanger. The guy that would manufacture that would probably be considered a Boilermaker, because there's all these very precision and specific soldering joints that have to be put together, and these plates are stacked, and it's
copper. It's not the easiest thing to weld.
Right, and it'd mostly be soldered. And
I'm sorry, soldered.
But yeah, so a Boilermaker, especially back in the day, was a very important job, and if those guys screwed up, people died. And even today, really, with steam systems, which the fail-safes have gotten really good. I mean, if they get too hot, they just shut off. But when you were shoveling coal in that bad boy, I mean, has your hydronic stove overheated yet on you?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, mine has a few times. I don't know if it ever did on you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just because you're putting a bunch of wood in there, and it's supposed to be cold, but it's warm the next day, and it's too warm, and the house isn't calling for heat,
right.
or
you
or
the
power goes out. The power goes out, and the water don't circulate. The thing will start boiling over on you. And same thing with the coal boilers. Coal's very hot. I mean, you can melt steel with coal. We're actually going to have at ForkFest, one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to build some coal forges.
ForkFest.party.
Yeah, and actually people are going to be able to go home with some coal forges if they want. But coal, those things would overheat. So yeah, the boilers were and that was the whole thing with the Boilermaker stuff. They wanted to make sure these guys were highly skilled and trained, because when they failed, people died. Was the bottom line.
I want to finish this up here, and then in the next hour we're going to have Angie's going to talk about sex. So that'll be awesome. The final job here from fee.org that is lucrative but doesn't require a college degree is a web developer. So they could be even more general with this title, he says. But basically, if you like working on computers, especially the mechanics behind working a working machine or website, you can launch a very prosperous career without going through school to gain skills. Web developers can earn a median salary of $62,000 to $122,000 a year with a very low down payment on their education. This is basically what your husband does. He doesn't develop websites, but he said
works on computers.
Yeah, he decided in his mind, I can fix computers.
Yep.
Right? Like most of the problems that he fixes on computers are simple Google searches.
That's exactly correct.
And it's just people who are like, I don't know how to do this. I want somebody to fix it for me.
Yep.
So he fixes it for them, and I don't know what he makes, but I know he does pretty well. And it's because he opened up a business and he was consistent. He showed up on time. He kept a good attitude, and he fixed people's stuff, and he got it back to them in a reasonable amount of time. It's not that difficult. A lot of times it's just running a virus scan on their computer.
Now, he went to college for that, but I did not. And I learned in the shop. He trained me, and the employee that we had trained me, and I ran one of our stores without any knowledge of computer tech. And he would walk me
without previous knowledge.
Yeah, I had
no. You were the apprentices,
right? Without education, yeah.
Right, but I would call them on the phone, or I would YouTube it, and I would figure out how to take laptops apart and how to install parts on computers just from the internet.
That's what we call initiative.
Yeah.
Right? Like just the going and looking for the YouTube video. It's hard to have initiative in every aspect of your life. I'm not going to say that it's easy, by no means. But this is what an employer is looking for, is initiative. Somebody who can solve a problem without them having to solve the problem. And employers aren't looking for people to ring them up every hour and say, hey, I need to solve this problem, I need to solve that problem. They're looking for somebody who can solve the problem, and maybe calls them once a day for a little bit of coaching one way or the other. Some people need a project. Some people are looking to have somebody to coach. But most people are looking for somebody that helps them grow their business. And I think it's this is just another thing that people can do and earn money.
When it comes to skill building, so at a place I hang out at Manchester, there's a lot of computer folks there, and I was there the other night, and I was asking a few of them, talking about Man Camp and building skills in the kids, and I say, hey, listen, you guys are computer dudes. You're like they're programmers and things like that. I go, is there some tool we could use that's be fun for kids, 10, 12, 13-year-old kids, because a lot of them like the computers, or even starting as young as your 8-year-old son, that would work them into kind of be like a training thing for being a web designer or a computer programmer. And a couple of guys were talking about how in some of these game things, you can build things within the game, and you can. Now I was wondering if there was something where they could write code or whatever, because that would be a really good skill to get your young children into.
There are some programs that you can do that work like that. There's Roblox, for instance. Mikey goes in and he writes games, and people can go into his servers and they can play on the games that he has written.
Good.
And so he's done stuff like that.
Yep, that's. The people are making solutions for kids all over the place. I think it's great. The number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in freedom. Free Talk Live.
Gold is a better way. Imagine doing business with a company that seeks to add massive value before asking for your business. My name's Adam Barata. I'm the co-owner of Advantage Gold and the author of the national best-selling book, Gold is a Better Way. The book may not be for you, but the tens of thousands who've read it have been blown away to learn why gold is set to soar to over $10,000. We're so confident this book will change the way you think about investing, we've purchased 1,000 copies from the publisher and are giving them to serious investors. If you have an IRA or 401k with over $100,000, we'd like to send you your copy. Just text the word bestseller to 49776. That's bestseller to 49776. You can buy it on Amazon, go to Barnes & Noble, or text bestseller and get it for free. Text bestseller to 49776. That's bestseller to 49776. We promise to add massive value before ever asking for your business. Gold is a better way. Text bestseller to 49776.
Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at bitcoin.com. That's bitcoin.com.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for Liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow with the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. Gold is trading at $1,293. Silver at $15.08, and Bitcoin is trading around $5,134. Today's prices are brought to you by InnoScale. Take off with Managed Cloud. Looking for a safe, secure way to store your important files online? Let InnoScale handle it for you. Their high-availability cloud servers are the perfect solution for clients needing one or more secure, scalable servers with built-in hardware failover protection. For details, see them online at InnoScale.net. In the news, a former Mississippi cop has learned her fate after she pleaded guilty to leaving her 3-year-old daughter strapped in her hot patrol car until she died, as the cop had sex with her supervisor inside his home. Former Long Beach police officer Cassie Barker will spend the next 20 years behind bars for the death of her 3-year-old daughter. The Free Thought Project reports that her sentence was handed down Monday, with the judge telling Barker that she failed in her responsibility to protect and serve as a mother and as a police officer. On September 30th, 2016, Barker strapped her 3-year-old daughter into a car seat in the back of her patrol car and entered her supervisor's home for a midday romp. Barker knew the air conditioner did not work, but nevertheless turned on the vent and went inside. As her daughter sat strapped in her deathbed, Barker had sex with Officer Clark Ladner inside the home. After the deed had been done, Barker and Ladner then fell asleep. Authorities said little Cheyenne Barker's body temperature reached 107 degrees before she died. The Liberty Beat is sponsored in part by Bray Botanicals, high-quality kratom and CBD at reasonable prices with excellent customer service. Bray Botanicals is activist-owned and mission-driven, fighting for your right to consume plant-based medicine and natural remedies. Find out more at mybraybotanicals.com. And right now, Liberty Beat listeners can save 10% by using promo code SNLS at checkout. This is the latest edition of the Liberty Beat. online at snls.news and libertybeat.news. I'm Mick Murrow. Your news now continues. Lawyers for an American journalist who believes he was placed on the government's infamous kill list warned Tuesday that the rights of all U.S. citizens are at stake if the country's drone assassination program is allowed to continue. Activist Post reports the organization's comments came as part of a response to the U.S. government's attempt to dismiss a lawsuit regarding its use of the list. Reprieve is representing Bilal Abdul Karim, a journalist and U.S. citizen who claims he was repeatedly targeted and nearly killed on 5 separate occasions by drone and missile attacks in 2016 when he was reporting on the ongoing conflict in Syria. Karim joined an Al Jazeera journalist in 2017 in a lawsuit against the government, demanding that the Trump administration remove their names from the kill list of potential targets for the U.S. drone program. If the government manages to have the lawsuit dismissed, legal experts warn it will allow the Trump administration and future presidents to secretly place any American on a kill list without telling them why, before stripping them of their constitutional rights to due process. Last week, Utah Governor Gary Herbert signed a bill into law that requires police to get a warrant before accessing data stored in the cloud. The new law will not only increase privacy protections in Utah, it will also hinder the federal surveillance state. Activist Post reports that Representative Craig Hall, a Republican from West Valley City, sponsored the House bill. The new law prohibits law enforcement agencies from accessing electronic information or data transmitted to a remote computing service without a warrant based on probable cause in most situations. In effect, it will prohibit police from warrantlessly accessing information uploaded into the cloud. The House passed the bill by a 71-0 vote. The Senate approved the measure 23-0. With Herbert's signature, the new law will go into effect May 14th. Support for the Liberty Beat comes from the Conscious Resistance Network, featuring videos, news reports, and articles from a spiritual anarchist perspective. Experience the Conscious Resistance at theconsciousresistance.com. How would you like to have your business featured on the Liberty Beat? You can just send an email to libertybeat@snls.news for details. This is the Liberty Beat, produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. The Liberty Beat is online at libertybeat.news and snls.news. I'm Mick Murrow, reporting with the latest edition of the Liberty Beat, reminding you, spread liberty with a smile.
This is the Onion Week in Review. In a landmark 5-4 decision issued this Wednesday, the Supreme Court ruled to allow Americans to cram cash directly into politicians' mouths. The ruling, which effectively eradicates former prohibitions against stuffing checks and stacks of $100 bills straight down the throats, ears, and other orifices of presidential and congressional candidates, is expected to fundamentally alter the ways American politicians have large quantities of money shoved right into their bodies. In football music news this week, the 1985 Chicago Bears reunite to record their first new material since the Super Bowl Shuffle. The group says the new material will be darker and more introspective than its Shuffle-era work. And in this week's op-ed pages, a man asks why, if God exists, doesn't he throw us like a really sweet party? In other news, an increasing number of men feel pressured to accept realistic standards of female beauty. FedEx confirms that more than 600,000 people try to mail themselves each year. And a recovering alcoholic doesn't need friends to have a good time.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
Kicking off the third hour of Free Talk Live. You are free to call in and talk live here on Free Talk Live. That's why we called it that. It's pretty simple, really. It's Mark with you.
Angie here.
And Jay.
855-450-3733. Let's go to Craig calling in from Wyoming. Craig, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, how you doing today? My point was when I was a kid a long time ago, 12 years old, I started working on cars. People were, actually in the shop. They were willing to hire because you're cheap labor. I was getting paid less than minimum wage.
Sure.
But by the time I was a senior in high school, I was making more than a entry-level teacher by about 30%.
But you were exploited, Craig. You were exploited as a 12-year-old, having to work for less than minimum wage, learning how to fix cars.
I would say he got a priceless education.
I think that I think he needs to find some lobbyist group that will advocate for him and have some kind of reparations made to him.
Yeah, just funnel that parasite economy more, right? More just to keep on throwing money into nonsense. That's the problem with the whiners. There's the squeaky wheel gets to grease, and these guys are just whining because they're just not receiving enough whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, thank you, Craig, for manning up as a kid.
Yeah, that's what. And now I make working in the coal mines, making 80,000 plus.
Do you think you've had any ill health effects? That's what I'm always told about coal mines.
If you're underground, you have to be more careful, but open pit, very little.
Oh, I see.
There's been no case of black lung here, and there's fatalities, but it's less than most other industries. It's very highly regulated, and they really stress safety. They don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Yeah, sometimes something will fall on you, but that'll happen at any construction site.
Yeah, but they really make sure they ingrain it in you. Don't be under a load. Don't put yourself in that position. And, for what we do in man hours and stuff, there's very little fatalities. If they see safety going out, they really try to rein it back in. If things start getting a little careless, if it starts trending, they really watch out for you that way, at least in the mine I'm at.
Thanks, Craig. Appreciate the call. Yeah, pay attention to that safety training, ladies and gentlemen, when you're there, because it can be invaluable. The safety training we had at the fire department, awesome and useful, but you have to implement it.
And going back to what Craig was just saying, he said he makes like $80,000 a year working in a coal mine, and it almost sounded like it was relating to the fact that he's got mechanical skills. So in a coal mine, you have a lot of equipment, and if you got mechanical skills, you're worth more. I know if you're a truck driver that knows how to turn a wrench, you're the last guy that's going to get fired, in that trucking company.
Yeah, that much is true. Angie, you found an article that's going to get a lot of people's attention.
I did. It's about sex.
Yeah.
And I discovered that, I didn't discover, I already knew that if you have more sex, you're less stressed.
I think that sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? That people who are having sex more often are probably a little less stressed than the rest of us.
Makes sense, but a lot of people don't have a lot of sex. So they're stressed. They're not happy. They don't do their jobs. They carry everything over into the next day. The article actually goes into several studies that were done, like a study at Arizona State University that said 58 middle-aged women, physical affection or sexual behavior with a partner significantly predicted lower negative mood and stress and higher positive mood the following day. Simply put, the researchers found that sex and physical intimacy led women to feel less stressed and be in a better mood.
All right,
These
ladies.
results weren't found when women had orgasms without a partner, so toys did not count.
So, yeah, I would say I think that skin-on-skin contact is important for the human primate. And I'm not just talking about sex. I'm talking about people touching each other in
intimacy.
all kinds of ways.
Absolutely.
Certainly, intimate partner sex is important, and I'll bet you that has a lot to do with stress reduction. But, one thing that I make sure that I do is I wrestle with my son is every day that we're in the same place. He just likes, wrestling. He doesn't mind losing, And so we wrestle. I let him, get on top. I get on top. I think it teaches all kinds of sort of issues of fair play, how to be careful with somebody, how bodies work, and, those kind of things. So I think that's very important. And I would agree with you that, you got to put down whatever that screen you're looking at night and pay attention to your significant other. I think is the best advice that it can make.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That hour before bed, and you know what time bedtime is at your household. It's not like you don't know. That it's probably a good idea to shut down the laptop or the tablet or whatever it is that you're fiddling around on. I mean, I'm guilty of having 3 screens going at once. Like I got the laptop over here doing something. I've got the TV running over there doing something. I'm looking at something on my phone. It's despicable. And the amount of light that's getting into your eyes, I mean, we're creatures evolved over tens of thousands of years, and part of that evolution is that we get up when the light comes out and we go to bed when the light goes off, and we had fire or whatever, but that's a little different. So with these new devices that are on an evolutionary scale just they've shown up in the last instant, they're throwing off sleep patterns and they're making it harder for people. And I think that I've seen studies that are saying that Americans are having less sex.
Oh, absolutely. Now, in my house, we put it in the calendar. It is scheduled just like a job.
All right.
Michael is 24/7 PC guy, and we, if we don't schedule it when the kids are at school or the baby's taking a nap, it doesn't happen. And if we don't do it, we hate each other.
Yeah.
And we know that.
Yeah, it's got to be done. I mean, it shouldn't be hard or difficult, but if you throw it in the calendar, fine, by you. I can't imagine that would work at my household. For my household, I think it's really just everybody sort of putting away the screens at the certain time. But, when you've got older kids and those kind of things, it can be a different issue.
I have a customer who is she's a psychologist, and she does like a lot of, she's a therapist. And she was saying that, telling me one day as we're stacking hay, she has a few horses, that her biggest complaint from the most common thing is married women that aren't getting enough love and affection, enough sex from their husbands, and their husbands would rather watch porn than be intimate with their wives. And she says it's like a huge concern with a lot of her clients.
I have heard this too, and it is not isolated to middle-aged women. I dated a gal, so this would have been, I don't know how long I've been married, 15 years or something. So it was before I'd ever even met my wife, so 20 years ago. And this lady was in the high 9s, okay? She was a very attractive, we didn't go out on very many dates, but she was a very attractive woman. She had just broken up with her husband, moved back home. And the reason was because he was paying attention to pornography online rather than her. And look, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there, but that's her end of the story. And that's good enough, right? Gentlemen, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have a more open conversation with your loved one if what you're doing is if you'd rather look at moving pictures on a screen. I suspect I'm suspecting that there's some sexual need that is not being fulfilled, some fantasy that is not being worked out, or whatever.
Now,
that's just a guess.
I don't watch a lot of porn. Haven't watched a lot of porn, but
it's not aimed at your demographic,
right? But now, is it true that in porn and in the bedroom it's completely different? Do men expect something different from women when they go in the bedroom if they watch porn?
Well, I think that people can be sort of greedy and lazy, right? That's just sort of how life goes. And
the American way.
Right. If porn is intended for a male audience, then you could imagine more service heading in the male direction rather than the female direction.
Okay.
In pornography, and I think that can give an unrealistic expectation to young people about how sex should be. But I don't think it should. I think if you're an adult, you understand life is about give and take. Mm-hmm. So, if you expect to take in a particular area, you can expect to give in a particular area. And that's generally how these things go. Sure, you can work something else out, but, your thoughts are welcome. 855-450-3733. 855-450-FREE. Free Talk Live.
She's such a beautiful little puppy. I mean, we walk around the block and neighbors always say, her hair is so beautiful.
Healthy and shiny and glossy. DINOVITE.com.
Fatty acids, omega-3s, and omega-6s are great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
I would really recommend people starting their puppies on Dynavite before they get into what I would call the misery index. Bad skin, bad ears, bad breath.
Because if they're getting all their vitamins, micronutrients, microbials from the beginning, then you're not going to run into the problems associated with the allergies, grass, pollen, dust, dirt, fleas, ticks, you name it, and the itching and shedding down the road.
Our vitamins and enzymes replace the nutrients cooked out of most commercial dog foods.
Dynavite for life.
This is Ed Lukasevic
and Cindy Lukasevic,
inviting you and your pets to Dynavite.
859-428-1000. DINOVITE.com.
Did you know you can legally exit the U.S. federal income tax system? Well, it's true, and thousands of American nationals are doing it. The 16th Amendment and the Internal Revenue Code are legal, but only in a limited jurisdiction. This is the basis behind the voluntary nature of the income tax. Learn the exit strategy provided by Congress. Find out more by visiting weissparis.com and watch our numerous videos. That's WEISS Paris.com.
You love Bitcoin. It's the future, right? Well, no, not if everyone stops using it. I mean, think about it. How many places in your town take Bitcoin? One? None? Let's be real. If this Bitcoin thing is ever going to happen, it's going to need your help. The good news is the guys at AnyPay have your back. We built a website called helpmetakebitcoin.com. And it's a place you can send any business. And they'll be set up to take Bitcoin in 5 minutes. helpmetakebitcoin.com.
Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Do you love Twitter? Make sure you favorite the LRN.FM Twitter account so you can receive our tweets at twitter.lrn.fm. That's twitter.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. The number 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. I'm going to ask you for a favor. Please go to twitch.freetalklive.com. We don't ask you for too much here on Free Talk Live. This one's pretty easy. Admittedly, it's simple. I guess it's simple, not easy. Go to twitch.freetalklive.com. Watch our Twitch feed. We're trying to get enough viewers there so that we get a special status on Twitch, and then they can they'll put us on the front page. If they put us on the front page, then lots of people who wouldn't otherwise hear the message of liberty will in fact hear it. So just go to twitch.freetalklive.com, open up a screen, and that'll be helpful to us. Thank you so much.
Get more exposure for us.
Right. And it's not just for the night. I mean, seriously, it's for like the next 45 days. So I told you it was a favor. Twitch.freetalklive.com. Angie, I know you're talking about sex here, and it's probably a favorite subject of yours, but we are going to go to the phones here for just a second. As a matter of fact, Matthew's got a question, so we'll first go to Matthew. Matthew, you're on Free Talk Live.
Hey, yes, Angie. Where exactly, what did you find this article about this? I would be interested in reading it in depth.
Verywellmind.com. Verywellmind.com. It was actually printed, or it was uploaded March 16th of this year.
And this is, what's the title of it?
It is The Multiple Links Between Sex and Stress by Elizabeth Scott.
There you go.
Okay.
And it's basically saying that that people, and specifically they studied women in this one study here.
They did.
Because people care more about women having sex than men having sex, honestly. Turns out women have sex with men, but that's the interesting part. And so they studied women and said that, hey, look, these ladies were happier, had better days, they were more productive. Pretty much everything was better if they had sex.
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep, that's how it goes. And I don't think they're suggesting running around and finding as many sexual partners.
An intimate partner, someone that you care about and you can relate to.
Yeah. So, Matthew, thoughts?
Okay. Well, verywellmind.com. All right, I'm going to have to look that up. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Thanks for the call, Matthew. It's fine to call and ask because it's good for us to repeat these things too. Let's go to Rob calling in from New Hampshire. Rob, you're on Free Talk Live.
Jay, you might want to tell Mark to pay reparations to me or I'm going to hurt his child.
Yeah, well, we dump his calls every time he calls in because he's banned from the airwaves. Let's go back to the story here, Angie.
Yep, you were talking about that you and your son wrestle.
Yep.
And that the touch every day is really good. And in the article, it talks about one of the studies that massage can be a great stress reliever.
This is something, gentlemen, this is a little trick here. If you could exchange, 15 minutes of massage and get something out of the deal, things are pretty good. I fall down on this, but I really should do this more. Massage is a great thing for everybody. It's good for everybody involved.
It is. I basically every opportunity I got, I give my wife some little massage, and she's a massage therapist, so she puts a lot of energy into giving other people massages.
Never gets one.
And she gets incomplete massages all the time for me.
Right.
I do a little this, a little whatever, shoulder when she's sitting down or something, and she really appreciates it. I mean, that goes a long way.
Gentlemen, if you want to, if you're concerned about not being attractive to your spouse, I've got a couple of tips for you. Massage is one of them. You suddenly get a lot more attractive, and do the dishes.
Very much so.
There you go.
Help do a chore.
Do a chore.
Really.
Suddenly you get a lot more attractive. It's helpful when she's not, because part of this is her being less stressed when she enters the situation too. If she's upset about something, it's going to be hard for her to relax.
The sense of touch, in the study, it shows that we need touch for emotional health. It also shows that babies who are not touched enough can fail to thrive.
Oh, it's awful.
And touch continues to be important into adulthood.
Yep.
The type of relaxing, loving touch you can exchange with a good partner can be a great stress reliever as well.
Right. People that say that, I'm always concerned about people who say, I don't like hugs because I don't like people touching me. Like, this is a mental health thing that you really need to work on. Mm-hmm. I admit you don't want to be. It's an issue where you don't want to be hugging on the same person all the time that you're not necessarily in a relationship or whatever. But everybody needs touch, and for people that say that I don't like people touching me or whatever, yeah, man, that's it's gonna be harmful to you in the long run. It concerns me always.
That's another thing I really like about Fork Fest and Pork Fest. You can just walk around and give hugs to everybody.
Yeah.
And there's massage therapists.
Yeah, there is. My wife will be there with her massage chair.
That's right.
And she gives a good chair massage.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah, chair massages are great because you can get, I feel like a massage is a diminishing returns kind of thing to some extent. So you get more value in the first 15 minutes than you do in the last 15 minutes of a massage, sort of as health and all the things that go into a massage. So the 15-minute chair massage superior to the as far as the cost benefit analysis is superior to the 2-hour massage, couples massage or whatever.
Well, being married to a massage therapist, there's a lot of people who have a lot of physical tension issues.
Yep.
In their bodies, and that literally to get through, you really need an hour and a half massage to
work out
a
knots.
deep tissue to get through the whole body.
We're going to be at ForkFest. Free Talk Live is going to be at ForkFest, obviously. I mean, it's a partly our project. If you want to be involved, go to forkfest.party. But let's do an interview with Shaolin and ask her about these questions. I mean, I just speak from ignorance and as a person who gets massages.
Yeah, that would actually be a great idea. I'll talk to her about that. I think she'll be down for that.
Absolutely.
Another part of the article says orgasms themselves are beneficial for our health, and they relieve stress. It can relax your body and release many hormones that are supportive of your overall health and wellness. This type of relaxation can also be great emotionally. Aside from the scientific findings, sex has some obvious stress management components. In addition to effectively taking your mind off of your worries for a decent period of time, sex provides some of these other stress management benefits.
So, I agree that orgasms are good and positive and beneficial and all that stuff. And then I think about sort of, like I got a dog and a cat at my house that have never had an orgasm in their lives, right? Somehow they make it, I guess. I don't know. This is the thing that comes up for me. I don't even think the female cats and female animals, I don't even imagine have too much as far as, clitori, or they don't have sex for pleasure in the same way.
But when they go in heat, they crave it. They want it.
Yeah, you can definitely see that.
Yep.
Yeah, they make that very, very abundantly clear to you at that point. So, I don't know. People aren't dogs and dogs aren't people, but it was just the thing that popped up in my mind. I'm like, oh, well, I want everybody to be healthy. And yeah, I think that this is one of the reasons that you've got to make a commitment in your mind, because it's easy to put these put sex on the back burner in a relationship, especially as the relationship gets older.
Or you have kids.
Yeah, my God.
It's or like roommates.
Yeah,
yes.
All those things. 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE, as in Free Talk Live.
Bacon lovers, we ship free. Try our amazing bacon. No refrigeration required. Proprietary value-added packaging provides 10-year shelf life and protects the leanest, thickest, center-cut, fully cooked bacon in America today. Ready to eat right from the pouch or warm and serve. Savory and delicious. Wholesale price for your everyday use. Order today at readytoeatbacon.com. readytoeatbacon.com.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
Hi, I'm Derek J. To me, an activist's calling is to actively work to advance a cause. The cause for which I work is personal freedom. I believe my life is best when I engage in voluntary interactions and self-government. I reject the idea that anyone else has a higher claim to my life or my body than I do. I see people who call themselves the government as a threat to my personal freedom. I realize you may feel differently, but my relationship with the people who call themselves the government is completely involuntary. If Starbucks used some of its money to drop bombs, I wouldn't shop there. So why would I support the American empire? The empire does not require my consent.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com. That's victimlesscrimespree.com. The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism, will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get 1 free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is a special alert for business owners, consultants, coaches, folks planning retirement, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is saving and investing to build a financial future. You are likely aware that financial privacy for most people has recently died a miserable death. And let's face it, without privacy, there really is no security, is there? Bankrupt governments and banks on the verge of collapse are perhaps the biggest threat to your financial future today. The Lighthouse Law Club recognizes this and has been working diligently to provide safe, secure, and productive tools to ensure your privacy, your financial security, and your future financial well-being, despite the catastrophes which many people fear are looming ahead of us. Find out more with a variety of free videos on the YouTube channel for Lighthouse Law Club. Just search YouTube for Lighthouse Law Club and secure your future today.
You can put the Liberty Radio Network on the air in your area. Visit broadcast.lrn.fm to learn how. Broadcast.lrn.fm.
Free Talk Live. Call in, talk about whatever's on your mind. The number is 855-450-3733. God knows we don't want Angie to continue talking about sex here on Free Talk Live. It's Mark with you.
Angie here.
And Jay.
The number 855-450-3733, or you can go to you can talk to us on the Discord chat. Go through discord.freetalklive.com. The audio will be better, and once you get signed up, it's significantly faster to call in. Discord.freetalklive.com. Let's go to the phones. We've got Sarah calling in. Sarah, you're on Free Talk Live.
So, it's about the same number of people who get killed by a gun-related fatalities as also auto-related fatalities.
Yep. Now just to be clear, Sarah, I think it's important. Is that I think it's 7 out of 8 of those fatalities by guns are suicides. It's some large percentage, a multiple of the homicide number, or even the accidental number. The homicide and accidental number combined, suicide is by far the largest number. So go ahead.
So but all of but here's the thing is that all I hear about is the gun control law and all the people that want to oppose and declare sanctuary. That's all I ever hear about. And the only person that talks about auto fatalities and make a big deal about it is who else is other than myself? Who else makes a big deal about it?
No, I think Americans really love the freedom that the automobile affords.
The freedom that affords, but nobody thinks about the fatalities other than myself.
Well,
I live without.
There's plenty of people who think about the fatalities. I was a firefighter for almost 20 years and a first responder, and we've definitely have picked up dead bodies, in cars, off the side of the road, off the back of people on motorcycles.
Don't text while you drive, people.
All that stuff, or falling asleep while you drive, whatever, being drunk, just S happens, Yeah,
those things happen. The one you can control the most is your texting. Go ahead.
So what I'm saying is the publicity, the attention, and what people are concerned about is gun control law. And so they pass these gun control laws, and then all these people oppose it, all the debate, but that's what I'm saying. And, one of the laws that we passed was about the guns and suicide. So in other words, the people say that I'm going to kill myself and they're drinking and they're suicidal, they're supposed to report that and take guns away from. That's one of the 3 of the bills. It wasn't just one bill. I mean, background and all that. But one of the things was that if they're
red flag law,
and friends realize they're at high risk, if they show signs of high risk, they're supposed to report them and take the guns away because, like you say, 7 out of 10 are killed by suicide by guns.
Well, I think that the laws go to make easy answers. They want easy answers to problems, right? And so an easy answer is let's take the guns away. It's hard to come up with an easy answer for auto fatalities. You're asking for a comparison here, and nobody is ready to talk about let's drive less. Let's not have cars. Those kind of things. Even they're just not ready to do it.
Well, one of the high rates of fatality, I don't know if it's equal to or close to auto fatalities per capita, but before we had cars, one of the biggest causes of fatality was riding your horse home at night. 125 years ago, 130 years ago, because there wasn't really, you didn't have headlights on your horse and
fall into something,
whatever. You get taken off your horse by the tree, or maybe a lot of times you're intoxicated, and and back in the day, and I guess urban living in a lot of the areas, a lot of the you had to drink alcohol with the water because the water wasn't that clean, and so a lot of people were pretty much somewhat intoxicated all the time, and you were riding a horse. And a lot of people just relied on their horse to bring them home because the horse knew where home was.
Yep. My horse certainly did. Sarah, thanks for the call. 855-450-3733. Let's go to David calling in from New Mexico. David, you're on Free Talk Live. What's on your mind?
Hey, well, something else, but since you're talking about the sex reduces stress, unless you're a cop named Cassie Barker from Mississippi.
I read this story. It's really sad.
Yeah, well, why don't you tell it, because you'll do since you're professional, you do a better job of it than I would.
I'm going off of memory. You correct me where I'm wrong, all right?
Yep.
So this lady, I use the term loosely here, had been in trouble with the DCF, or whatever the Child Protective Services are called in that particular jurisdiction, about leaving her kid in the car. She's a cop. She apparently has some kind of thing going on with her supervisor, who was married, I believe, whatever. So she goes to his house, leaves the kid in her patrol car, which she leaves running.
And she knew the air conditioning didn't work. I heard.
Did she know the AC didn't work?
That is on the brakes for the LRN feed. One of the reports that they had said that she knew the air conditioning didn't work, but put it on anyways, and strapped a 3-year-old kid. All the 3-year-old kids I know could get out of the car if it got too hot. They were not strapped in.
So she literally tied him in, right?
Literally.
Okay.
Strapped the kid in is what they said.
Yeah. Right. A 3-year-old can't push the buttons to get out of a seat, probably. And the kid roasted to death in there, and it's
107 degrees is what the autopsy report said that the child's temperature raised.
And at this point, the judge is looking at the situation. He said, I can't imagine what I can do to you that would be worse than what you've experienced already. And I agree with him. And he's determining, the prosecution's asking for 20 years, but the judge is just deciding whether or not he's going to do that or not. I believe, because this person is a police officer, that likely they will receive a lower term. I'm not saying that the world's a better place if this lady's in prison, because I don't think that that's going to really solve the problem here. She's got all kinds of problems, none of which are really going to be solved by prison. However, I believe that is true for anybody, not just a police officer, and I think that she's going to receive preferential treatment because of the badge. David, how'd I do?
Pretty good. You were good all the way to the end, where she just got sentenced to today or yesterday.
Okay, thanks.
She got the max.
Did she?
She got 20 years. 20 years.
Well, I suspect that might be because the story went viral.
Could be.
So what do you think? I mean, her getting 20 years, I tend to think that it's a pointless waste of taxpayer money putting her in prison for that long.
Can they put her with general population?
Oh yeah, she'll go with you.
I would say a better 20-year sentence would be to sentence her to 20 years of full-time volunteer work, or at least part-time, half-time, like 20 hours a week, for 20 years of going from group to group to group, telling her story, to try to save just one life in some similar fashion. Actually, you could if you did that, you'd probably save many lives, because lots of kids get hurt by hot cars alone, let alone other dangerous situations.
Yeah, I think that the writers of the Constitution may have done us a disservice with this cruel and unusual punishment thing, because at this point, all we've got is fines, jail, and execution. That's really it, as far as the choices that a judge is given. And so many things could be, they do have community service, but for people call that getting off. I don't think it is.
I really like restorative justice. as opposed to punitive justice. But I don't know where you could like when we read his story last week. I don't know where we could, what could be restored, in this, or how you could have a restorative justice when you kill your own daughter. I mean, she's got to feel horrible.
Right. She's the victim and the perpetrator in this, right?
If she goes around and she has to talk about it every week or every other week, then she's going to have to relive that for the next 20 years instead of sitting in a cell where she doesn't really have to visit it every day.
Right. I'm surely there's some kind of program or something where we can talk to young mothers about the importance of, whatever. I don't know, but it's that's some way that she could to make good. David, excellent call. Thank you. 855-450-3733.
Some people just suck. I mean, just a bottom line.
Yep. It's true. Free Talk Live, 855-450-3733.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dinovite.
Dinovite is nutrition.
Pick up 2 bottles of LicoChops, get the 3rd bottle free.
New improved LicoChops with omega-3, omega-6, vitamin E.
And now, 6 extra direct-fed microbials.
Even better for the digestive tract and immune system.
Try LicoChops. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dinovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Bitcoin.com is delighted to announce their latest partnership with the gift card specialists at eGifter. With many of the world's leading brands on their roster, it is now easier than ever to get the gift cards of your favorite brands with Bitcoin Cash. To get started, just follow these simple steps. Visit giftcards.bitcoin.com, pick the gift card you want, follow the instructions on your screen, and make your payment using your Bitcoin Cash wallet. Sit tight and your gift card will be delivered to you as soon as it's ready. That's giftcards.bitcoin.com.
Retrievers, Labradors, Goldens are the main breeds that come through our door, but we'll train anything with 4 legs and a tail. My husband and I own a kennel. We train hunting dogs and also have a boarding and grooming business. And our dogs, they're athletes, and we feed a very quality food. You can't get enzymes in a commercial dog food because they cook it at such a high heat that so much important nutrition is just cooked right out of it. But adding Dinovite to their diet has every single dog in my kennel looking better than they have ever looked.
DINOVITE.com.
859-428-1000.
The omega-3 fatty acids, flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa, the digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
Dinovite is nutrition.
If you want the dog to be healthy, you got to feed it something healthy.
DINOVITE.
Dinovite's the bomb.
859-428-1000.
859-428-1000.
Dinovite for life.
DINOVITE.com.
On Free Talk Live, we're bringing people to the ideas of liberty every day. From wrestling superstars like Glenn Jacobs.
You guys really are having an impact, I believe. Like I said, a lot of where I am now is due to listening to Free Talk Live. You changed my mind on some very important issues years ago.
To random people tuning in on the radio.
I was kind of stuck in the left-right paradigm. I heard your show by chance on a Saturday night. From there, I went on, joined the Free State Project, and become an amplifier. So, I mean, that's really the reason why I amp is because I know that if it wasn't for you guys being on as many stations as you are, I never would have found the ideas of liberty.
Your amp will directly change more lives by getting Free Talk Live in front of people looking for talk radio online and on the air. When you amp Free Talk Live, you get perks like access to the AMP-only Facebook group and AMP podcast. Visit amp.freetalklive.com. So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up in any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
Final segment of Free Talk Live. We might be able to get you in. If you call in, I'll give you the number, 855-450-3733. It's 855-450-FREE. If you like what Free Talk Live does, if you would like to have us reach more people with the ideas of liberty around the world and around the United States, please do as RC has done. Go to amp.freetalklive.com and amp the program. We only use the funds to advertise, market, and promote Free Talk Live, so we use them all to spread the word. amp.freetalklive.com. RC is a silver amplifier, and it's people like him that make it possible for us to reach more people, get on 200 radio stations across the U.S., have more than 100,000 downloads on our podcast per month. amp.freetalklive.com. Before we get back to the story here, Angie, I want to go to Brody calling in Utah. Brody, you're on Free Talk Live.
Yeah, hey, just calling in. Have you guys talked about receipt checking at stores before?
Receipt checking?
Yeah, when they check your receipts when you're leaving a store.
It's been a long time. What are your thoughts?
Okay. Well, I was just calling in because I just think it's interesting how the sheeple just don't even understand that they don't even have to show their receipts, and people just actually get their receipts ready when they're going to leave the store.
And they wait in line.
The thing. Sorry, what?
They wait in line to get their receipts read.
Yeah.
You're talking like when you leave and they check your stuff in your basket. Yeah. I can understand. It helps with shrinkage.
But when you're shopping at like a Sam's Club or a Costco where it's a private membership store, if you don't show your receipt, they can ban you from the store. They can revoke your membership, and then you can't go there anymore. But like at a Walmart, you have no obligation to show your receipt. And the way I approach it is if they ask me for my receipt, I ask if they're accusing me of stealing something. They always say no. And then I ask them if I'm being detained, and they say no. And then I ask them, if I'm free to go, and then they stumble and they're like, well, I need your receipt, at which point then I ask for a supervisor and go from there. Because then if they detain you, then you have a lawsuit on your hands, and, maybe you can sue Walmart for millions of dollars.
I almost never have to deal with this. Maybe the stores I go to aren't dealing with shrinkage or whatever the point is. It has been years since I ever dealt with it, and when I dealt with it, it was at Best Buy. And I understand how a store wants to handle, losses and those sorts of things. I get it. But for me, it just seems like so much training for obsequiousness, people groveling and those sorts of things. I don't need you to go through my stuff. I just don't have time or energy. I'm not going to do it. And so what my plan was, after the first time it happened to me, I was like, oh, this isn't happening again. I don't like it. And I decided, okay, so here's my plan. So I went up to the checker or whatever that was there. They asked me for my receipt. I said, I don't want to further this whole philosophy of checking people's bags. I'm not interested in it. I don't like it. So I will let you check this receipt if you want to, but as soon as you do, I'm going to go back to the return desk and I'm going to return all this stuff. And I'm going to leave, and I'm going to go to Circuit City, and I'm going to buy it there. And then if they check my receipt there, I'm going to return it all there, and I'm going to go to the next big box store that sells electronics. Somebody's going to sell me this stuff, and they're not going to check my receipt on the way out the door. And they just gave me the thumb, and see ya. They're not interested in the middle-aged, white guy that's sick of it, right? He's not the one who's stealing things. They're just trying to look at your bags so that they can look at the bags of the people who they suspect.
Yeah, so they don't look like they're profiling. Like, I get a PJ's membership, and I basically got it to buy the cheap diesel fuel there in Manchester. And I walked in and got some stuff the other day, and he didn't even look at anything in the carriage. Like, literally, he's like, "Hey, how you doing today?" Check, and he just handed it back to me. He's got to put a little check mark on it. That's like his job.
So I don't know how these BJ's is a club store, and I can't really speak to how those work and why they do what they do. I can't speak to them. I don't know. But if you're willing to trade your time for the lower prices, then yep, it's worth it. I just decided I wasn't willing to do it in that circumstance. So, Brody, what do you think it's all about?
Oh, I think they're just trying to catch thieves. But, I mean, another thing is that I don't know if most people know is that if they have the beeper machines, that if you go through, they'll beep at you for some reason. Those actually, you don't have to stop for those either. I went through Walmart, and when I went out the store, it went off. And he's like, "Hey, I need to see a receipt." I go, no, you don't. That doesn't prove anything. And again, I asked him, "So are you accusing me of stealing anything?" He said no. And he said, "But I need you to come with me." I said, "No, I'll wait right here. You go get your supervisor." And he started arguing with me about how he's just doing his job. I'm like, "Well, that's fine, but I'll sue Walmart if you're going to detain me. So either I'm free to go, or let's detain me, and then I'll sue Walmart." And he said, "Fine, go, leave." So I just think I think they're trying to catch people who are stealing, but people, if they don't assert their rights, then you lose your rights.
Yeah, the little beeper gizmos, those things are constantly going off. What I like to make fun of them whenever I hear them is like somebody leaves and the thing goes off and like, "My God, that person's stealing something. What are you doing?" Because at this point they're no longer, we call them alarms, right? It's like a car alarm.
Yeah, nobody pays attention.
Mikey likes to take off running when they go off, and he has a cart. He's like, "Mom, run!" And I'm like, "Oh gosh."
Who's alarmed? What? They're a noise, is what they are. Mm-hmm. I mean, these they don't do anything.
My fear is for me, my fear of showing my receipt to them. Maybe it's a small fear, but I mean, not only would I like to sue them if they detain me illegally, but also my fear is if you show them your receipt, then you're giving up your rights, because then, maybe you missed something when you were going through.
Maybe the checker missed something.
But then they can accuse you of trying to steal something, because now you've shown them your receipt, and if an item is not on there that you missed or the cashier missed, well, now they could file charges against you.
That is a true statement, right? Like, every time a human being checks you out, whether that human being is you or a cashier, there is a chance, and that chance isn't small, of a mistake being made. If a mistake has been made, you may be, through no fault of your own, committing a crime and giving testimony against yourself by providing that receipt against yourself. I mean, companies really need to figure out how to, make sure that somebody's not doing something from the checkout line to the checker line. I mean, this double checking thing it's annoying, and I'm just not interested in giving my time.
If it was a cop that asked me to see the receipt, I would say, "Are you going to use the results of this document against me in a court of law?" And he has to say yes.
Well, of course he would. Yeah.
I'm going to secure I'm going to exercise my constitutionally secured rights not to incriminate myself.
Right.
Just keep walking.
But if it's a regular employee, all they're going to say is "duh."
Yeah.
They don't know. Thanks for the call, Brody. Appreciate it. 855-450-3733, 855-450-FREE. Angie, tell me a little bit more about this study here that says that sex apparently relieves stress. Who'd have known?
Couple of more things. It talks about endorphins. It talks about sexual activity releases endorphins and other feel-good hormones. You'd be surprised by how many and what they do. The chemicals can relax your body and mind, leaving you feeling better for hours afterwards.
I'm usually asleep.
Exactly. And then it talks about the physical aspect of sex. Depending on your level of enthusiasm, you can burn a lot of calories during sex. and gain stress management benefits from exercise as well.
Yeah, I suppose that's the possibility. I've seen it on TV. I don't know.
It increases your heart rate for sure.
Right. It does increase your heart rate. I remember when I was a kid, there was this factoid that floated around, something to the effect of, I don't know, that sex burnt like 100 calories. This average. Well, I think that people got the impression that somehow, laying there servicing yourself for 3 minutes was going to burn 100 calories. It's not magic, okay?
No.
That explosion of chemicals in your brain does not burn 100 calories.
The movement.
Yeah, it's you're getting your body in motion that's going to burn calories, as opposed to just something that you think is magical.
And it's important to be as active in sex as your partner. I mean, you can't just lay there and expect for both of them to enjoy it.
Right. If they're doing somersaults off the hobby horse, you're just laying there. That's not fair. You're not bringing to the activity what it is that they're doing. And the dismount. 855-450-3733. It's what I always think of whenever I hear the casters go, and the dismount. Free Talk Live. Check us out at freetalklive.com.
Would you like to get back?
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
The Torchwood Report is coming up next, live after the news on the Liberty Radio Network.
This is the Liberty Beat, your daily source for liberty news and activist updates. Produced in partnership with SNLS News and listeners like you. Online at libertybeat.news and SNL.